bunch of stuff to make it so
Give
that
the link to the chat.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hang
yeah.
on, I'm doing my thing.
Impatience.
I know. Sorry. Okay.
We've only got 3 extra minutes, dude.
Well,
with the
no, we're a minute late now.
Oh,
'Cause
great.
everything takes forever to load because haha.
It
My
says
computer sucks.
8:59 here.
Oh,
We're
for
still a
you?
minute
Okay,
ahead.
for me it's
Oh,
9:01.
it says 9:01 here.
Yeah.
Greetings from the future, by the way. It still sucks.
No, I had no doubt.
Right.
Now it's 9. Okay, now we're late.
Yeah.
Damn it, Alejo.
It's going right now.
Mm-hmm. You're in your 2 gigabytes of RAM.
No, I have 16. It's just my computer's dying.
Yeah, when is your new computer supposed to show up, by the way?
I don't know anymore.
So it is still shipping.
It hasn't.
It's in
They haven't
transit,
even
or no?
started to build it yet. That's the thing.
Oh.
Yeah, they had so many back orders apparently that they just.
I see.
Yeah, so.
That's a shame.
Yeah, it's all right.
And I forget. Were you supposed to join us for Monster Hunter?
Yes. Yeah, I will.
Yeah, he is.
As soon as I can. That's the thing. I'm
yeah.
also waiting for that stimulus money.
Yeah, the Switch. Are you getting a full one or a light?
I want a full one. I definitely want a full one.
Yeah, fair enough. I've already got a light because I didn't intend to play too much on it, but now Monster Hunter's on it, so I'm gonna have to start breaking my neck again. The thing that I like about the Switch, though, I don't know if you guys had 3DSs, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. That thing felt so improperly balanced, and whenever you'd play it, it would always like start to hurt your wrists and hands.
Yeah, it wasn't
because the top screen was
in mine.
Yeah,
it was weird.
But I like the Switch because that doesn't really happen. The only problem with the Switch that I have is that the battery life is absolutely horrible.
Right.
I don't know. I play my Switch docked, and I played my 3DS enough that I got a living Dex. So I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know, man. Maybe my hands are just weak.
Yeah.
It was before I grew up my hand muscles rolling dice. Or built up hand muscles, whatever.
All right. Okay. All right. So that tweet is now out. All right.
Yeah, Draka Kraken, rise hype. It's fucking gonna be awesome.
It's true.
I hope. Should be.
Just make sure that this.
I mean, I haven't been disappointed by a Monster Hunter game yet, and that's impressive. Even the first one, I hated it, but I wasn't disappointed by it.
There we go. Okay. So, hello everyone. Welcome back. TableTalk, discussion, and discourse. I, as always, am your host, Alejo, aka Great on95.
I, as usually, am your second host, Aiden, aka ItsSneakyAdolf, and you'll hear the sounds from our third host.
Me? I'm not playing. What? Huh?
You're our third host. And
okay, so don't you introduce me? I can do it. I'm
trying hard to get a better signal on your cell phone.
He tried. Also, my God, this thing started playing an ad.
Yeah.
Okay, so and you can see now that we are joined by a special guest.
Yes.
Yeah, hey, this is Dave Barnhart from How It's Played, the Pathfinder 2nd Edition Rules channel on YouTube.
There you go. He's back. He hasn't run away from us forever. It's pretty good.
Not like all the others.
He hasn't distanced himself from the channel. We'll fix him of that pretty quickly.
No, it's good to have you back, man. It's good to have you back.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, it was the first time was a delight, and I'm looking forward to the second time.
Yeah. So, since we only have you for a little bit, I want to jump pretty much into it, because usually we go for comments first, but those usually take upwards of an hour, and we only have you for not that long. So, I will get the link all set up here in a second once I am finally able to to get everything set because of all the technical difficulties from before. So
is Gradon the only one who has seen this video so far? Are the rest of us new to this
Probably.
one, or
I've only seen 3 minutes of it.
Probably.
So
Yeah,
okay.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, definitely. I've not seen it.
right.
Deal.
So the link is now in the chat there for you to join.
Thank you.
Wait, what's the link for?
That's for the watch together. That's for
okay.
I was already in the watch.
Yeah.
I just need the YouTube studio.
Yes, the chat
So
is also there.
So I can see what y'all are saying behind my back.
So, today we are going to be talking about the using dexterity and adding the dex modifier to damage, and how that's a house rule that should be maybe used. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Dave, but there are only a couple of classes that use dexterity already as damage bonus.
There may be. The problem with being a rules person and a forever GM is I'm not super in tune on all the different options that are available to different classes.
Fair enough.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was a rogue ability that might give you let you add dex, but I'm not positive there is one. I can tell you that the 2 rogues in my games do not have any abilities that allow that. But yeah, this is going to be an interesting topic. And actually, before we dive in, I'm just kind of curious. He already kind of sits on this. I mean, does anybody here already have like a strong leaning one way or another, whether or not dex should be included with a ranged attack damage or agile weapon damage or anything? Or
I actually have some thoughts on it. Namely that most classes that exist, using, for instance, Paladin as an example, because I play a Paladin, it's the first that occurs to me. But like you are already sort of forced to choose between 2 stats for your damage, that being your charisma, which affects your spell casting modifier, and at I believe 7th level, you get a bonus to your damage that is based on your charisma bonus, as well as any like if you're an Oathbreaker Paladin, any like fiends or undead that are within like I think 10 feet of you, get a bonus onto their damage that equal to the charisma. So like that can be pretty significant. So you already have like the whole strength versus like charisma thing going on of like which is better to improve in an ASI. Do I put 1 point into each? Do I put 2 points into one? Like which is more optimal? So like you already have lots of classes that one stat or the other affects like their damage more. I don't think dex to damage like is necessary, I would say. I would say like I'm fine generally with people having high damage numbers, like if they want to do damage based off of dex, fine, but monster hit point pools should reflect that accordingly.
Yeah, and I think I'm leaning similar direction as you. I'm looking forward to seeing what their arguments are.
Right.
But
Yeah,
my initial thought, I guess first of all, I trust Paizo and their game designers to construct a game with rules that are balanced and make sense. And I feel pretty confident that they sat around a table and already hashed out the pros and cons of allowing dexterity to be added and what that would do to the balance of the game, and they decided against it, which leads me to believe it's probably best that it's not added to weapon damage in general.
Yeah.
And
their game testers like test for that like
sure,
extensively.
and I guess my concern would also be just like, even though I do a lot of stuff regarding Pathfinder today, my one true love for role playing games has always been Star Wars.
Okay.
And in most of the Star Wars rule sets I've played, from the West End games through Saga Edition and all that, dexterity was king because it added to range attacks. In Star Wars, everything's a range attack, but it also added to your defense and your reflex saves, and just, there was no reason for anybody to ever really invest in any other attribute. It was always dex.
Yep.
And I kind of feel like trimming away including dexterity and damage output puts it on a more even footing with strength, as opposed to just dominating all the ability options. So I guess that's where I'm my mindset going into it, but I'm looking forward to seeing what they have to say.
Right. I was actually, I wasn't even thinking about the fact that it can, or that it kind of outweighs strength, just because of how, like, if you have that not be there, it does make it so that the other stats do stand more at par, which is good. And I think having it be there makes it, again, that, like, be-all stat, right? Like you said, with it being, hey, this is for, your armor class, right? As well as now damage, as well as for your skills, still.
This is the stat you max out, and if you don't, you're a fool.
Exactly, right? Like, it takes away that feeling. And according to Nugs Not Drugs in the chat, he says that only the Thief Rogue has the melee finesse weapons thing. So apparently that's the only class that really has that. And I remember now, we were talking to Brogan, No Nat Ones, before, and he was saying that, as I'm looking back in our conversation, he was saying that the Thief has that, and then everybody else really just has their own unique thing to add more damage, and it doesn't really need it.
Yeah. I think that also lends to the idea of not having it be a general thing, because it does feel like a very roguish thing.
Yes.
Although, I don't know, like maybe swashbucklers I could see.
Right, yeah.
Argument.
There are some classes that I think it would make sense, like Ranger, Swashbuckler, you've got the things that are very dex heavy, but then again, they could not be, it depends, right? Having that as an option is something that I think is okay. But I have seen multiple people think that it'll break the game, right, in some way. And I assume it could, right? Because, adding that extra damage just to get your numbers higher a bit too much could maybe make it so that everything is out of whack. But as Aiden said, I think if you just buff other things a little bit, it should be okay. We'll see. One other thing before we start,
big
Dave,
damage number, cool.
Yeah, big damage number is cool. One last thing, Dave, I want to ask you the question. What is a RPG that you most want to play that you haven't played yet? And what's one that you least want to play?
Okay, the two that instantly come to mind of games I've been desperately trying to get people to come together to play for years and have no success are Mutants and Masterminds 3rd edition. I love comic book stuff, and back when the first Avengers movie came out, and the big kickoff of superhero in pop culture and whatnot, I kept trying to bring people together to play Mutants and Masterminds, but everybody only wanted to play D&D, Pathfinder, Star Wars, the same old.
Right.
The other one is Delta Green.
Oh, yes.
Delta Green I was exposed to from the Glass Cannon podcast, and I immediately went out and bought a bunch of the books and I literally have been collecting the adventure modules just to read for enjoyment.
Oh, sure.
They are. I dream of the day that I can sit down at a table and watch the looks on my players' faces when they hit a certain plot twist or revelation in some of these adventures. But yeah, as a matter of fact, I sent an email to a bunch of friends just yesterday, like, "Hey, let's do some Delta Green."
Right.
And so far, no takers. Which, you know, again, people are very entrenched in. We like our Pathfinder, we like our fantasy role playing games, which is fine. But yeah, those would be the two that I most want to play. Oh gosh, is there?
At least is a hard one. You might not have one, and that's fine.
Yeah, you know, I can't remember what the name of it was, but I was doing research for another project a couple weeks ago, and I looked up, like, you know, what is the worst role-playing game ever created? And one came up, and I can't remember what the name of it was, but it sounded like just absolute awful.
Well, if you think about it, if you remember it before you gotta go, then let us know.
Okay, yeah,
I would love to know.
Sounds good.
Let's finally get started with the video.
Ooh, that's a gorgeous miniature.
I'm thinking that's a really good intro.
Hello, Internet, and welcome to the Collective Arcana. We're a channel all about tabletop gaming. Today, I'm going to just sort of discuss with you a little something that came up in one of our comments, something that a lot of people might disagree with me about. It's something that is probably going to be, I guess, our most controversial video ever. It's about 2nd edition, Pathfinder 2nd edition, and adding dexterity modifier to damage. It's it's something that a lot of people are unsure about, not going to agree with me about, and that's definitely up the top. Let's go ahead and get out of the way. That's totally fine. Whatever you find works for your game, whatever you're comfortable with, of course, do not listen to me. You know, you are not in any way obligated to listen to anybody about how you want to run your game, except your other players at the table. You might want to listen to them a little bit, or they won't stick around. But this is just something that I've found works for me and my table, something that I enjoy, something that I think is just nothing but positives overall to do. But it is controversial because of, mostly I feel because of the history of the game. A lot of people will tell you if you add dexterity to damage by default, you're going to throw a lot of things out of balance. And I do think that was true in 1st edition Pathfinder. I also think that, you know, it might be a little strong in Pathfinder 5e, where you have this idea that dexterity is this super ability score. And previously it was. The number of pure dexterity builds in Pathfinder 1st edition versus pure strength builds, there's no comparison. Outside of really niche character designs, focusing on stealth or on dexterity was the default and typically the way to success for any class where you could get dexterity to damage. And with later feats, that was a lot of classes. So with that said, and you know, knowing that in 5th edition D&D as well, you have these really strong feelings that dexterity is an overpowered stat, a god stat they call it sometimes. And it's true in 1st edition and in 1st edition Pathfinder and 5th edition D&D and 3.5 D&D and all that. But is that still true? I don't think it is.
You got some contention.
I don't think that Dex was the end-all be-all stat in 3.5 or even really.
I think it still is, just because of the usefulness of it. It is still the everything stat a lot of the time.
Yeah, because
it helps certain classes more than others. But like, say you're playing a barbarian, it doesn't really help. Or say you're helping a heavily armored fighter or a paladin even.
it doesn't really help that much if they're like really heavily armored because they have a max dex bonus that they can have anyway to their AC.
That's true, but what I would argue is the ability to take weapon finesse with any character makes it so that there's no reason why it's still detrimental. Or it's not,
Okay.
it can't be the god stat still. So.
Can't also can't forget on initiative, and initiative is useful for every class, no matter what.
Also that, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's the bonuses to
really-
armor, there's finesse, there's initiative, there's all the abilities that take.
Let's be honest though, initiative count doesn't really matter.
Well, you think that, but
in some cases it does, I would say.
Yeah,
but
because you could come up, say, if we want to talk about action economy, say you run into a fight that's like, I don't know, 20 dudes. You know, it's clearly stacked against a party of 4 adventurers. If you have a high enough dex to where all of you, or at least an important person, goes first, then they can unleash a big attack. Say you're mage. Yeah. That's why having dex even on a mage is important.
So I would counter that, though, by saying how often is that going to come up?
Well, I mean, you never know. That's the thing, though.
Well,
you could say you're walking into a cave full of goblins.
What I'm saying is you're right, but I'm also saying that 20 guys is an encounter that your DM has put forth. I would assume your DM has put forth to you that is going to be something that your party can take. Right.
Well, then, okay, then how about this? Say you wander into a dungeon and you go, and there's a fork in the road. You go down one path, and that leads deeper into the dungeon. And then another path is just a room full of enemies. And you start a fight, and that room full of enemies is now can hear you, and they come in, and they weren't really intended to be fought as this huge group. If you have a mage with a high dex, you can have them go first, cast their big AoE, and cut their action economy potentially in half, depending on the power of those enemies.
And you're still talking about 3-5 here, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think.
Or really, just any system that allows the dex to be added to initiative.
Right, and in 2nd edition, it's usually perception is used for initiative, not dex, so it's more whiz based.
Right.
So I just wanted to make sure I was clear on that on that argument.
Yeah. Absolutely. So yeah, I agree in that scenario, but again, that is a single scenario that could happen, right? Like just like anything could happen, right? So I don't know.
And so this video is just going to be me sort of making a case for why you might want to implement this in your game. Certainly the core rules do not support this, and general wisdom isn't going to support this. And it's something that, even though I'm confident this is right for my game, I do acknowledge that the math on it is pretty tight, and I am not nearly the level of expert at the game system or numbers in general for you to be just taking this at face value and just immediately implementing this into your game. Definitely, look at what I'm saying, decide if it's right for you. I just wanted to just talk a little bit about why I use it in my game.
I will say, this isn't anything on his arguments or anything because he hasn't made them yet. But he has gotten here. He has taken a while to get here, and I know it's unscripted, and that's fine. It's just one of those things where it's like I understand you've already laid out the reasoning of you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to keep laying it out, right? Like I understand. It's just
come on, dude, who had his video unedited and then took 3 minutes to get to his point. We as a podcast with no script are gonna criticize you.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say it, but I remember the last time I was here, it was like a 3-hour ordeal to talk about 10 minutes of a video. So maybe this group isn't the group to criticize brevity. I don't know.
I mean, hey, come on.
It's absolutely true.
I'm just saying, I can't have an opinion on this. Come on. No,
but he's bearing the lead a little bit.
Yeah,
But I'm more interested in the content of his argument.
Exactly.
And why I think it's okay for you to use it in your game if it interests you or your players. So, first of all, let's talk about the history of why dexterity has the reputation that it has. We've talked about before in the other editions, it was very strong. It covered everything from saving throws to numerous skill checks to, your AC, all sorts of ability. And it still covers a lot of that in second edition, but second edition has gone a long way to making up that ground for the other statistics. So what I want to talk about is right now is all the ways that dexterity has been downplayed in second edition, because all this conversation is based solely on the fact that the developers did such a good job, I think a better job than they realized when they readjusted how the ability scores influence the game. I think that the decision to not allow dexterity to damage by default with certain weapons is something that is a holdover to either the first edition of the game, maybe even a little bit of trauma from the types of builds that people would do in first edition, and the attitude that a lot of people have in fifth edition of dexterity to damage. And it's a strong stat and it does a lot, but I think that with all the other changes they've implemented, that I no longer believe it's necessary to limit dexterity in that way. I think dexterity has lost quite a bit, and hopefully I can illustrate that to you a little bit here. So it is no longer the default for initiative. Yes, you can still use things like stealth to roll your initiative, but most characters in most situations are still going to be using perception. And I mean, heck, you can use any skill now for initiative in the right circumstances. And a character that's insistent upon using their intelligence modifier or their strength modifier or whatever for initiative is going to find ways to do it pretty often. So the fact that the default is now wisdom based instead of dexterity based is already a big impact. And bigger than you may think, because not only is it saying dexterity is not this important, but it's also saying that a character who focuses on strength with no dexterity in heavy armor still has the potential to act first and be able to get to that front line, be able to get where they as a tank are most needed. And it's something that I've talked before that I really love. It's one of the biggest changes in second edition. Well, one of the smaller changes in second edition that I think has the biggest impact in terms of, your frontline characters now actually have a chance to get to the front line and be able to use that armor that they have to protect their allies. It's only affecting 3 of the 17 skills now versus I think it used to affect 7 in first edition. And to be fair, a lot of skills got folded in. I think we have about half as many as we used to. But I think it's still worth noting that outside of a thievery type character, dexterity is not going to be doing a whole lot for you as a player in terms of skills. Whereas before it was pretty important for surviving a lot of situations. Again, still mostly sort of thievy type scenarios, but just the idea that it would apply to so many different ways was really, really strong. And sure, most of those skills that were lost were just combined into other dexterity-based skills, but it is still worth noting that it's only taking up about 1/6 of the skill list versus where it used to take up almost a 1/4.
Okay, so that just means that they made the skill list smaller. That doesn't mean that it still isn't the same effect. Because again,
they fixed it.
Yeah, they quite literally grouped skills. That's all that means. Which is good, I think, because it works still.
I don't know. I would actually say that is he saying that they made the system better by reducing the number of skills that
I don't
they have?
think that's what I think he's saying that because dexterity isn't used in so many skills, that it's less prevalent as something that you need to spec into in order to use a bunch of skills. But what I'm saying is, because they did that, they squished those skills together, and they did that with everything, right? Everything's skills are now in different, like, these different categories. Athletics is now jump and balance and all of that. Or acrobatics has balance, but you know what I mean. They have those skills now inside of their, more manageable 17 instead of the a lot of I don't remember how many is in 3.5 and 1E, but it's a lot.
Right.
And I understand, right, having it be more simplistic is better for people to play, right? Like if they don't need that specialization of that one skill, right? And again, I'm not saying that I don't that I like that more. I'm just saying it is better for that kind of play. But it doesn't change the effect of dexterity for skills, because they still apply to all of those skills.
Now,
It's
how
just
many
they're
how
umbrellaed.
many skills were there in first edition Pathfinder?
I think just as many as 3.5.
Ridiculous amount.
Yeah.
Well, if you include every single knowledge and lore skill
Yep.
in first edition, it's literally like 95 different skills by the time first edition.
Then how,
It's
so
it's
then how
the
about
same as 3.5. 3.5 has a lot of skills.
Yeah, so
because
let's
knowledge
then
and stuff.
for the ones that can apply to specific things like knowledge arcana, knowledge nature, knowledge blah blah blah, just cut that down to knowledge.
Right.
With that, how many base skills are there? In 1E.
Second?
Yeah, no, you're good.
Many.
This is part of
like how many skills appear on the standard character sheet?
Yeah.
Is that what we're trying to get at? Okay.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, if we just kind of read knowledge. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26.
Okay, and then how many are in 2E now?
Oh, like 17.
Okay. So I would definitely say that
3.5 is like 37.
I mean, 3.5 isn't really part of the. It's not part of the
it's
here.
basically as much, but yeah. Anyway.
Okay, so then they reduced the amount of skills that require Dex to use from in Pathfinder 1E. He said that there were 7, I believe. 7 that use Dex.
We have, let's see, acrobatics. We have, let's see. I don't think fly. Does fly use it? I don't know.
Fly is a skill?
Yeah, Dex. There you go. Yep, fly.
Yeah, but I say that would make sense. Yeah.
Yeah, 2. Then they have. Is ride? Yep, 3. 4 from sleight of hand. 5 from stealth. Swim would be strength, I assume. Yeah. Okay. That's all I see. There's only 5.
Okay, so 5.
I think so. Unless I'm missing something. Maybe escape artist as well. Yeah, okay, so
probably,
6.
yeah.
There you go.
Okay. Well, then they reduced the amount. So there were 26 skills in Pathfinder 1E, and then they were reduced down to 16 in
16 or 17, yeah, 17.
16 or 17, and then in 2E only 3 skills used it, correct? Because they've been scrunched down.
It's been a while since I looked at the sheet. Give me a moment. Not this. I need other tabletop. There we go. Pathfinder 2E. Oh, I have access to that too. Why didn't I just look at that? Okay. So in this you have 1 from acrobatics, 2 from stealth.
So there are 2 that use. There are only 2 skills.
There are only 2 skills that use it. Yeah.
Okay. So then.
So I mean, the number is less. Yes.
Yes.
But
it's actually. Well, I mean, okay. So there were 5 out of 26. So then that would be
6 out
about,
of 26. Yeah.
Okay, 6 out of 26. That would be about 1 in 4, and this one it seems about 1 in 10. So yeah. Closer to 1 in 10
as well. Oh, okay. Sorry. There's 3. Sorry.
Okay, so then probably like 1 in 1 in 10. So it'd probably be like 1 in 8 or 1 in 9 then.
Yeah.
On average, at least.
Yeah, it's like about a 20%.
Yeah, so it
So
went from
1 in 5.
about 40% of them to 20%. And they didn't...
But this is my point is the skills themselves are now in those umbrellas.
Yes.
That's it. Like, that's the only thing that they did. And so, yes, there are quote-unquote less, but they still apply, right? Because you still go, thievery is escape artist. You go, if I want to be really good at that, I get high dex, right?
Yes.
Like, it doesn't change. The only thing it changes is the perceived amount. Whereas the actual usability, you can still go, all of these I can still use with my dex, right? For the skills. It's just under that one umbrella. And that's it.
Well, I mean, if that one umbrella is still... It's still fewer skills on the sheet, I guess. So
right. What I'm saying is
I don't know.
What I'm saying is the amount on the sheet doesn't matter when you can just break it down. When you can then go instead, like, because I am using, it doesn't have balance. So because I'm using, well, I guess they took away fly, so I can't use that either. So instead of using just thievery. Sorry, instead of using thievery for only sleight of hand, you also use it for escape artist, right? So you're still using both of the skills, it's just they're not listed.
Yeah,
but you still have the same you still have the same bonus and such. That's all I'm trying to say. So I don't think there's much difference.
And I was just trying to figure out if there was like a real noticeable difference between the amount of skills that use dexterity between the two editions.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, even though there are less skills, the previous skills just got added to the new condensed ones. Exactly. That's my point. So I don't think that the argument of there are less skills matters because they are still there.
Yeah, they're still there. It's just they're
Yeah.
Okay.
Or 5th. So that's important. And then finally, and this is a big one, is it's no longer used for ranged attacks with magic. So in first edition Pathfinder, if you wanted to roll your attack for a ray or any sort of ranged touch effect, you would be rolling dexterity.
Okay.
And now you're adding your relevant ability score modifier, whatever you use to factor in all your other things with your spells, your DCs and things like that. Intelligence for wizards, wisdom for druids and clerics, and charisma for bards and sorcerers. So those are some pretty big debuffs to what dexterity can do. Those alone would not be enough to justify, I think, adding dexterity to damage. Because while it's lost those things, it's still really good in plenty of other areas. It's still got a saving throw that it's the only game in town for. It's still affecting your AC, and it's still affecting 3 really good skills and range, and most ranged weapon attacks. But in addition to those nerfs to what dexterity covers, there's also been some boosts to strength. While strength doesn't really cover any more than it used to, some of the things like bulk have been made so much simpler and so much easier to use that strength, that bulk is now being tracked a lot more than encumbrance used to be. I feel, I know both my games I'm paying attention to it, where
100%.
I never used the old encumbrance rules, but it's much simpler, it's much more intuitive, it's something that you can estimate really easily and that everyone can sort of get their minds around without feeling like you are sort of nickel and diming your players and getting too into the weeds with little adjustments. In addition to that, having a high enough strength can reduce or even negate armor penalties, whether that's checks or movement speeds. This is a huge boost to characters that want to go the armor route instead of the dexterity route. It used to be that not only was dexterity on your dexterity a bigger boost to your AC than maybe was proportional to some other options, like armor and things like that. But on top of that, being a character in light armor or no armor, you were faster than the character in full plate. So you had higher AC than the guy who had this really expensive armor, and he was slow and brutal. It's no longer the case now. Sure, if you go all the way to full plate, you might still be slow. That's something that I would, and I have house ruled to say that if you've got even higher strength than the normal threshold, that you can completely negate those options. But even without that home rule or that house rule, I think that the fact that you no longer have to suffer those penalties necessarily for types of armor, and when you do suffer those penalties, you're in heavy armor, which is actually giving you some damage reduction and some other nice little boosts. I think that's a pretty big deal and a pretty big boost to characters that want to focus on strength and con and leave dexterity behind in favor of wearing heavy armor. The other thing is the cost that I sort of mentioned. Now, because of the way that the prices work, and really they sort of did before, but now it's actually in the book that a suit of +1 full plate costs the same as a suit of +1 leather armor. Because the actual armor themselves are so little of the cost compared to the runes that you're putting on it that it's negligible. It doesn't matter. You're paying for the rune, what you attach it to, who cares? So that's really cool. And that's another big boost because, again, you used to be slower with worse AC and you had to pay more to get there, all because you had a character that wasn't focused solely on dexterity. With that said, in addition to that, offensively, strength got a big boost in the athletics department. While reflex saves can defend against some of those effects, as far as I know, there's not really many exceptions to the fact that if you're trying to trip somebody or grapple somebody or push somebody, you're going to be using strength-based athletics check. And so offensively, that is a huge boost to strength, whereas before there were a lot of ways, and there may be down the line, but there aren't yet in second edition. But first edition had a lot of ways where you might be able to get dexterity to that attack roll instead. But for right now, athletics is strength-based, and that is nothing to scoff at in a game where getting any sort of edge on an opponent can take a threat down, can make it so that your entire party can exploit that weakness and hammer home some really big shots. So that's a big boost to strength. And moreover, we talked, going back to the AC, is they've really tightened the balance on that. Whereas before, having high dex and some magical light or medium armor would put you through the roof on AC versus most people in full plate. Now it's a lot closer, and depending on which level you're at, being what your current dexterity score is versus your current armor bonuses that you're getting, your runes and potency boosts on those armors, very often somebody in full plate is going to be as good or better than somebody in no armor or light armor, especially light armor. No armor, with your monks and your rogues who just see no reason to wear armor, is pretty good. If you're going to take your dexterity all the way to the 22 max and maybe get the apex item even. But with that said, anybody who's not going to devote fully into dexterity like that is going to find that good armor with the right runes and 1 to 2 points of dexterity are probably going to be as good as 7 points. And while you still might be able to edge out in dexterity, I think sometimes, depending on what your class is, you could edge out armor with dexterity, especially if you're wearing the adventurer's clothes that can have the runes. You might still be beating, but you've invested so many of your stat points, so many of your maximum stat points, which it's hard to get more than 1 over 20, that you've paid a cost, and you deserve that edge. But it's a pretty slight edge, and it's situationally doesn't even exist. So, when somebody can functionally keep up to you by spending the same amount of gold, I have to question whether that extra point of AC is necessarily worth it when you could have put several more points to other ability scores and gotten almost as far.
Okay.
Actually, I have no problem with that.
Yeah, I'm just trying to have it soak in a bit, and I'm pretty sure that's the thing. Most of this has been very sensible.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
nothing.
there hasn't really been anything for me to disagree with her or argue about.
Right,
It's,
exactly. The only
he's
like, yes.
yeah, the only thing that I've had issue is just his skills argument, which is I think it's just not even necessary. I don't think that.
that's a question of perceived value versus actual value.
Exactly. So sorry everyone. Seems like we're just gonna keep listening to the video for a while.
Gonna be a pretty silent podcast.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, we can always talk about the video that Brogan got.
dude, I'm still trying to understand, like, what is that Buddha wearing? Like in the jade?
Over in the left.
Like, why is it clinging to his nipple?
I think he's holding it. His left hand is at his shoulder, holding a like a leaf or a fan or something.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, the answer is the Buddha wears whatever the Buddha wants to
Exactly.
wear.
It's true.
Yeah. It's got it.
And then to the other side of the gear, let's go to weapons. So most weapons that I or anyone would propose get dexterity are pretty well laid out in the thief racket on rogue, and it's things with the finesse trait. It's gonna be just lighter, smaller weapons, which means they're dealing significantly less damage than some of the strength-based weapons. Now, at low levels, the difference between a 1d6 rapier may not seem that big compared to a 1d8 longsword, but as you add striking runes, as those dice get multiplied, you're going to find those numbers quickly do add up. So
wouldn't you be able to say as well that for the other things it would keep being better?
Yeah,
yeah.
My player with the maul with a striking rune on it is just absolutely dominating.
Yeah,
the base damage. I mean, like sneak attack bonuses and whatnot is what you're going to get your value out of the lighter weapons.
And with the sneak attack bonus for rogues themselves, like, do you add in the finesse damage to that as well? I assume, right?
Well, I mean, I'm not really sure about quote finesse damage, but the sneak attack damage is just added right onto the regular like dagger or rapier damage.
Yeah. So his point here is trying to be that if you get upgrades for your weapons, onto your weapons, they will be on par or better than other weapons that can also get those upgrades that would be actually better.
Not by default. I mean,
right.
If you include the damage from a rogue sneak attack,
then
they
true.
Can put out some insane.
But that's exactly
damage.
That's different. That's a class ability and not the weapon itself. Yeah, when he's arguing just the weapon damage, it's
right. Your fighter is not going to be is not going to have a dagger that's on par with their their two-handed greatsword or giant maul with an equal number of runes.
Exactly. It's a strange thing to try to argue. I don't think that's helpful.
Like, we could go into like, oh well, my paladin does 2d10 plus 4 plus 4 plus 7 every round. Oh no, sorry. 2d10 plus 4 plus 4 plus 2d10 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 7. So that's 4 plus 4 is then 1 plus 7. And like we can go into all the details of like whether that's optimal or not, because he's a strength-based character with a charisma score. But it's like, and that's a +1 weapon. It's like, dude, like let's look raw at what is actually going to occur instead of like what happens when people build for certain things and when people use magical weapons.
Yeah, exactly. Considering I'm running a rogue in Pathfinder 1e, I can say a rogue with sync attack can easily surpass a frontline barbarian or fighter build. That's fair. We're talking about 2e though. That's we were talking about 1e for a little bit, but in 2e, I'm sure you can do comparable damage, right, as other classes, but at the same time, I feel like with the abilities that you get from being a fighter or being, anything else,
Right.
you still have the more damage if you have the higher die damage weapon. Like that shit
Exactly.
doesn't
Yeah.
change.
I don't care if your barbarian swings a great axe for a d12 of
Yeah.
damage if your rogue does 2d6 sneak attack
Yeah.
and plus a short sword, which is, I believe, another d6. So, like, minimum damage of 3, maximum damage 18 is better than a minimum 1 damage, max damage 12.
Exactly. Like, I assume he's going to go into these weapons will do less damage overall, and thus giving them that buff is better. I assume, because he's saying that these are all finesse weapons that a rogue could use. Right.
I got the feeling we've stopped him mid thought here. And there's more argument coming.
Yeah.
Your rogue will shockingly be the damage. Your barbarian will shockingly be the tank.
Right.
Even if you did allow a character to have dex to damage, and they're using a rapier versus dex to damage, or versus strength to damage, and they're using a longsword, the rapier fighter will not be keeping up compared to the longsword. They're both using one-handed weapons. They both have some interesting, useful traits maybe, but at the end of the day, the longsword is just going to be beating it on damage, no two ways about it.
Yes.
And that doesn't even account for the fact that there's, to my knowledge, no two-handed finesse weapons, nothing where you can get above a d6 at all, whereas if you wanted to have a bastard sword, for example, on your fighter versus a short sword or a scimitar on this character, you have the option to go to a much larger damage die if your shield breaks, or if you just decide to cast it aside and just, go for the Hail Marys. So that's a versatility option that the finesse characters don't have. They don't have the option.
Nugs Not Drugs brought up a good point. It's worth mentioning that finesse weapons can still use strength for damage. It isn't like they don't get any bonus by using these weapons. It just means allocating skills is a bit more strategic.
That's true.
So then you could still do the same thing with having... So in this example, I guess what we're trying to do here, or what he's trying to do here, is just tell us that the ones who build dex at this point aren't doing as much damage, so we can give them this damage buff, and that's fine. But even so, if you do, it doesn't change, that you could still do it with strength.
I would almost like to build a rapier-based fighter.
Yeah.
So people would be like, "Ooh, rapier-based fighter. He's taking advantage of the finesse property. That's a dex fighter." And he's got daggers and the rapier and stuff. I'm like, no, all strength.
No, I just plunge it real hard.
And I'll just throw out there, because so far, he's talking about rogues and fighters.
Yeah.
That's not exactly, there's a bit of a false equivalency there. I mean, rogues are not just damage dealers, especially in second edition. In the campaigns I'm running, my rogues do on average less damage than my fighters, but they can hide, they can sneak, they detect traps, they disable traps, they have more skills. There's more that goes into playing a rogue than just dishing out damage. So I don't think they should necessarily do the same amount of damage as a frontline fighter.
Yeah.
So just to point out there, I'll redact that point. I've got a fighter in my campaign also, and we found out pretty quickly that with the thief subclass, what he liked to do was essentially be the party's scout, and sort of roll out the welcome mat for the party, and then make his way back to the party and unlock doors and know basically the layout essentially of the place. Then once the party rolled through in like their full strength. The barbarian went up front, the paladin went up front, the warlock actually was our TPS.
Yeah, so like I guess at this point, just with what he said so far, I would say sure, if you want to add dex to your damage for your thieves and such, then fine, I guess. But it's one of those things where what is it going to, like, it will give you a little bit more of an edge, I guess. Right? Like it's I don't think it's necessary, right? Because it's one of those things where if you can can you sneak as like an action in 2E?
Yeah, I mean, you have
just
to
hide.
have the hide condition first, and once you're hidden, then you can sneak away. Yeah.
So I assume you can just take the hide action.
Yeah, if you've got cover concealment, then you can take a hide action.
So then you could potentially still be outdoing damage for whatever you're comparing yourself to, just because you're able to go around, hide, get in there, do a stab, and then do another stab, maybe. Like it's one of those things where I think that the a little bit, or that tiny bit that you're going to be getting from dexterity in this system specifically, it's not going to be that much of a difference, right? I don't know.
For the two-handed weapons, and that puts them out on reach. They don't have options for reach. It also really limits or completely negates their access to many weapon traits, which can really just be a huge number of fighting style options or niche benefits, and sometimes not very niche benefits. So that, combined with the fact that they're in theory neglecting strength, means that a dexterity-based character is not only less hard, not only having lower chances of success with things like athletic to trip and grapple, but they're also having fewer opportunities to even try because they don't have those weapons that have those ability traits built in. So in addition to that,
changes their playstyle,
I want to state that I'm not suggesting we add dexterity to damage on ranged weapons. I think that
that answers the question in the chat.
Is boost enough for the ranged weapons. I think they're fine where they are. But you know what does sometimes get applied is strength with some propulsive weapons, whether it's slings or long bows and short bows. So that means that even a character who focuses very much on dexterity, who is going to possibly be the best, the most accurate with a bow, still might not deal as much damage as somebody who has a pretty good strength score. So what that means is that that, combined with the fact that ability scores are a lot more generous and designed in a way to be a lot more spread out in the increases, whereas before you might only increase 1 or 2 stats your entire career because you had to focus on what your most important ones were. Now you can increase those most important ones, and you've still got 2 boosts left to put wherever you want, and eventually you hit diminishing returns if you keep stacking up the same one. Still probably a good idea on at least one of your main stats, but not necessarily on your second. So what that means is that you're going to have characters that are more likely to have a few points in strength or dexterity regardless of what their focus is, which means that there's not really any viable dump stat anymore. Intelligence probably could use some help.
Well, okay, so there already isn't a really viable dump stat, I would say. I think Pathfinder 2e has made it so that you want every ability score.
Yeah.
Right? Because you have
we've
charisma.
literally discussed how intelligence is useless before.
But that's more in D&D.
Yeah, in D&D it is. But in 2e,
so much in 4th ed.
In 2...
I'm sorry.
Sorry. It's just like in Pathfinder, isn't intelligence for skills?
It's for getting skill points. Correct.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there are no skill points
Right, yeah,
in
no.
second edition. But yeah, I think you do get more skills, and languages are based on intelligence.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't mean to talk over you there a second, guy.
No.
Somebody had mentioned that in D&D there wasn't a whole lot of use for intelligence,
Right.
and I just want to throw out there that one of the things that I actually liked, and this is going to be super controversial, but one of the things I actually liked about fourth ed
Ooh.
was that you got your choice of adding either dexterity or intelligence to your armor class, because it was a reflection of either you're fast enough or you're smart enough to position yourself strategically in a way, and that raised the value of intelligence and tapered off the value of dexterity, and it allowed wizards to have a better armor class unarmored and not have to invest in dex.
They did,
yeah, but it buffed the usefulness of intelligence while also like getting rid of dex a little bit. I like that.
They did something similar to that in Cyberpunk 2020, and I believe it's still in Cyberpunk Red, where you can have your initiative based off of either dex or a reflex, not dex, reflex or intelligence.
Yeah, quick on the draw versus like
quick on the
knowing that something's like violent.
Exactly. But yeah, overall, I think Pathfinder 2e has made it so that, like I said, and it's even Nugs says it, in controls many skills, the number of skills you become trained in and languages. So
yes,
I it's still very important. Like I don't think that it is a dump stat. Well, I don't think it needs much help either. I think it's fine.
Yeah, it can be the dump stat for the stereotypical meat shield fighter who just wants to absorb damage and pound people with a cudgel.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would be supportive of finding new ways to use it.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily think it's that necessary.
This is why I like when he said you can use basically any stat or any skill to do, or maybe he said stat, but anything to really make your initiative, right? Because
I love that.
You could find a way to make your intelligence become your initiative. Like I don't see why you couldn't, right?
Yeah, it's very situational though.
Absolutely.
You can't make an intelligence skill your default initiative.
No.
You would have to find a way that in that given scene at that moment, you were doing something using your intelligence that would give you a leg up on the initiative.
Absolutely. And that's why I think that it is still, like, even still can be less of a dump stat because of that, right?
Sure, yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where he's trying to get to like say that these other stats are a little less, and dexterity can go up a little bit more, but I don't think that's really necessary at all, right? Because I think they're all in the perfect place at the moment. Also worth noting that 4 classes and 1 rogue subclass can use int as their key ability modifier. Well, there you go.
As opposed to the one default one in D&D or 5e.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, the other thing that I see Draken Kraken said is also can't monks use dex to hit, so do they get dex to damage? Maybe he'll address that, because I don't see why you wouldn't allow that in this case. I don't know.
Yeah, I got a feeling if he's making a house rule that all melee attack damage you can add your dex or to finesse weapons, then that would include monks.
Yeah, this is the thing. I don't know if it's all. I think he's saying that all the weapons that are already for finesse that anyone could use get that, right? Like, and then not ranged, and then that's it. I don't think he's advocating for like a warhammer, right, to be able to use dex. I don't think that's what he's doing, which is fine. I'm okay with that, but at the same time, I'm also not sure if it's just those things, and if he does say monks with their dex to damage, that's interesting, because fists aren't considered weapons, but they do have finesse, maybe?
Weak.
Right, I know.
Yeah, they do count for making finesse attacks. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
still confused over the whole unarmed attacks
Yeah.
are not weapons.
Exactly.
But they're on the weapons table and they do weapon-like things. So
It's strange.
Yeah. And hey guys, I hate to say it, but I'm going to have to run.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine.
It's always fun to get together and just talk about Pathfinder, and be more than happy to do it again in the future, especially if you guys ever consider doing like a 6 p.m. start.
Start at a reasonable time? Would you take us for?
Yeah.
I'm just curious. Are you folks like on the West Coast or
No. Yeah, East Coast, but
we're
it's
all
just,
East Coasters.
Yeah, we just got, busy lives.
Other things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I unfortunately have an early start every morning.
That is fair.
But
yeah,
at any rate,
totally fine.
Always fun to get together and just talk about it. And I look forward to seeing this when it gets published, because I'm interested in seeing the rest of his argument here.
Absolutely.
But take
Basic.
care and have a good one, y'all. See you later.
Have a nice night. It was good to meet you.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Dad's sleep schedule.
So
finally, now we can be assholes.
So yeah,
grand total of 1 second.
So that's Dave of How It's Played. If you don't already know his channel, go check it out. I'll put a link in the description, and well, it's already in the description, but I'll also put it in the chat here.
Highly recommend.
Highly recommend. Very cool guy.
He does his research well.
Yes. Good stuff. So let's keep going, and then we'll get to comments and everything like we usually do. But let's finish up the video.
But yeah, so you have a system where dexterity is no longer applying to numerous things that it used to apply to. It will never catch up in flat damage because it's just got worse access to melee weapons. There is no way, at least right now, that I know of, maybe some strange runes that I've not seen, but there's no way that I know of to add dexterity to ranged damage at all, whereas there is for strength. And I don't think that dexterity's got the huge edge that it used to. Does that mean that you should use dexterity to damage? I don't know, maybe. I'm doing it, but at the end of the day, I don't know what your table looks like. I don't know what your players look like. In my game right now, I've always, even in first edition, as ill.
So, would you like to tell us why you're doing it?
Yeah, I was gonna say you're just kind of being really wishy-washy about this, the purpose of your video. Because if you don't have a strong position, then why even have the position at all?
Why even make the video?
Yeah,
it could simply be like a logic thing, like a logical thing in the game,
Well, so I agree that this is definitely something that not everybody needs to do.
Yeah.
And like you don't need to. This is the thing. This is why before I was kind of complaining about him taking forever to get to his point, because he keeps sprinkling in the need to seem to be very non-confrontational about this, which
is fair.
I mean,
there is someone in chat. Who are they? Draco Kraken.
Yeah.
He sounds like he's trying to avoid blowback, like he's afraid.
Yeah, that's definitely a feeling that I get, and like I understand
he's super cautious in how he says everything.
And again, I understand not wanting to get hate or anything like that. That's fair, but at the same time, you are putting out a public video that you are holding a controversial, you've even admitted, position, you're going to get some blowback regardless. So you might as well own it at this point. And I know I'm not trying to say just like toughen up, right? Like I'm not trying to be that guy, but there is a level of it that is necessary in order for you to be a content creator, unfortunately, at this point.
When was this made?
Great question. Give me a sec. It was made, I think it was made like 2 years ago. Maybe.
Okay, because I was thinking if it happened around the time Cozy decided to be a dumb shit.
No, they made a video in response that they didn't even say his name. They made a Don't Quit Pathfinder 2nd edition for those reasons.
Nice!
Which I was totally fine with. It seems like a good video because it's an hour long. And it seems like a good video because they were just like, yeah, fucking... Oh, no, this was a year ago. Okay.
Okay.
But they were just like, yeah, there are good reasons to keep playing Pathfinder. And I was like, good. I'm glad you guys are at least trying to do it in your own way.
Yeah, because I was just thinking that if it was made around that time, trying to be very...
right, yeah.
You know what I mean.
I get that, but at the same time, yeah, and again, like, when you're trying to convince somebody, you gotta have a little bit more of a presence.
Yeah, you have to have a little bit of oomph.
Yeah, I would say so. And again, that's not
drive.
That's not against. Oh, it is kind of against his arguments because again, I'm listening to them and I'm going, yep, okay, yep, but at the same time, I'm also going, where's the passion, right? A little bit. Not to say that it's totally necessary. It's one of those things where again we're going over the same thing again.
Yeah,
it's like we don't need to. You've already given us the spiel, the 3-minute spiel, and you edited this video. I've seen your cuts. I don't know. It's one of those things. On the subject of int being used for things, I kind of hate a monk that uses int for damage by attacking nerve. Oh, not hate. Something. A monk that uses int for damage by attacking nerve clusters in the body. That sounds cool. I like that idea. But yeah, let's see if he maybe tries to convince us more.
Advised as that.
Oh no. Are we still live? Oh, hello? Oh, hello? Guys? Oh. Are we still live? Oh! Is Discord dying?
There we go.
Is Discord dying?
I don't know, maybe.
I think it was Discord. Hey, there's Boo. Yeah, Discord just fucking shat the bed.
Yeah, did you catch my thought?
No.
The last one? Well, the one, right? Okay, what was the last thing that you heard?
It was, the passion. I said, where's the passion, basically, and then just laughed a bit.
Yeah, and then, after that, you said some stuff, and then I said, look, man, just let me have the spiel. Let me have a 5-minute spiel, but cut up into portions, please.
Oh,
Don't
right.
deny me this.
Yeah, the editing, right? Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, I think here's the thing, though.
It's not offensive, right? It is not offensive. That is the video.
Yeah, no.
That's what I get.
It's not offensive, but I think this is completely ancillary to the point. That's the problem.
I think it's just he's trying to convince us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not convinced. He's giving things that I agree with, but I'm not convinced by any of it yet. Right?
Fair enough, but I mean,
the video's not over, to be fair.
Yeah, the video's not over, and we still have more to go.
Absolutely.
And I want to get to Brogan's troll.
Oh, we're not going to cover that today.
Aww.
No, we're not going to do that.
It is also, you say it's completely ancillary to the point, but like, if he's wishy-washy in a video that he puts forth, like, by him uploading that video, that's him standing by that video, like, in
that is true.
State.
It's true.
And like, part of what we do is to review content.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Okay, retracted.
Confidence is a key foundation in presenting your thoughts directly and being more persuasive and convincing. Agreed.
Yep.
Investigator with martial artist dedication can use int for attack bonus, provided they use devised stratagem. That sounds awesome. It's like offering a cake to someone, but then saying you could eat it if you want. I'm not you. Do what you want.
That's so sus.
My
god.
That is definitely the vibe I get.
Like he hands me the plate, and I'm like, this icing is arsenic, isn't it? You piece of shit.
I mean, I won't shove the cake in your mouth, but it's pretty good, I guess.
It's pretty good,
whatever. And you're like scratching the back of your head.
Back of the neck.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Making sure to look everywhere, but the eyes.
Yeah, you're fucking like shifting your feet constantly.
Yep.
It's great.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's again like he I personally eat this cake, but you do you.
You do you.
That's really good.
So again, like I understand his position and I understand that this is what he is trying, but again, it doesn't feel like he's trying to tell me that I should do this. I don't know. He's not. He's
specifically trying not to.
Yeah, exactly, right? And it's like I don't know. The arguments are there. It's just it doesn't feel like they're arguments. It just feels like he's telling me things. Right?
He's made a lot of arguments why it doesn't matter, but not a strong argument for why we should.
Yes,
exactly.
Absolutely. So
what I'm hearing then is, in conclusion of this video, we should not use dex to damage as a house rule.
Exactly, right? Yeah.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
I think we should be able to make. We should add our charisma modifier to our AC.
Are you sure?
I mean,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think so. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, but here's the thing, though. I think so.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Hey, Alejo, I think we should use our wisdom modifier to our AC.
Are you sure?
Give me a reason why not.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Now, actually,
put the burden of proof on the other person.
I would say actually it's used to be the AC modifier for certain classes, and that would take away their specialness.
One of the things that actually this whole
reason.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fair. I guess you can just tell me that it's not good enough without doing anything to refute it. That's fine.
Yeah, just said no you.
Okay. Anyway,
one of the things that I'm legitimately pulling for this video, though, it's not actually the dex to damage. It is if you wanted to kind of diminish the kind of super stat nature of dex, at least in terms of, most games where dex is a super stat.
Yeah.
I was thinking that you could actually use wisdom as your damage modifier for bows, specifically because, at least in the games where wisdom is always considered to be perception, because, it's like, oh man, you have a really good perception. You know how to aim for like the best spot. You can judge their momentum and their trajectory and stuff.
I'm like, because he's already talked about how you already use dex for hitting things, and he was saying you can hit your targets really well and do damage with it. I'm just like, no, you can hit your targets really well. That's all that means, right?
Yeah.
Like that's all that means. For certain classes, I can see it being made as the argument of you're going for like specific vulnerable points. Sure, you're using it so that you actually are doing more damage. You're more precise. Sure, and with like something like wisdom, again, I would go, yeah, where to shoot in front of them so that when they run forward, they get hit by the arrow, right? Like you can do that better. Sure, I don't know about damage though. Right. I guess it would be like the justification would be vitality, right? Or
yeah, you're aiming for like the throat. And
shit. Exactly. But then again, I would go, oh, it's a called shot, huh? Right.
Yeah. I mean, that would pretty much the whole wisdom thing doing more damage is effectively just for flavor, but that's a very good point. It would effectively be a called shot.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's only so far that we can go.
Yeah.
You're just that handsome and charming that the enemy feels bad about trying to attack you. It's meant to be an observation on the system and what he took away from it. It's not much of an argument necessarily from what I've seen. Wisdom could make sense for a system that uses it for initiative instead of dexterity. Yeah.
Cyberpunk uses int for initiative.
Yeah.
And I was actually in the process of typing that out.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
You got disconnected?
No.
No, I was like typing it out as he started. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, I don't. There it goes. Now that it's one of those things where I wanted to have Dave have as much time as possible, so I didn't want to read as much chat, right? Because that'll take some time and such. But yeah. With high enough strength, I can cut a leg off. With a high enough int, I know where to hit to instantly kill. But Dex is not to know where to hit, just how to hit.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. So maybe he'll convince me. Convince me, sir.
In a lot of ways, I would allow dexterity to damage. In second edition, I have 5 players in my online game, and I had of them, one was primarily a ranged character. He did not have any strength. The other is a swashbuckler. He still has some strength. And a magus who turned into a sorcerer, and she is still dex based in her attack because most of her damage comes from her spells. So she had no reason to worry about adding strength damage, but again, we do dex to damage. Okay. But of those 5, my 2 heaviest hitters are still my strength based characters, my barbarian and my monk, who is not a...
My question becomes,
so what's the reason to use Dex?
Why would you use Dex if you're just... it hasn't changed
at all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it literally
this is now
changed.
Completely pointless then.
Right. Like,
not completely, but you know.
Has this helped solve a problem at your table?
Exactly. Even in your own examples, you've just told me that there's nothing that I gain from doing this. Right? Maybe, like, all I can gather is a couple extra points of damage. Mm-hmm. That's it. Right? I don't see why I need this. I don't see why anyone needs it or would use it.
The difference is I put the 18 in Dex and that 16 in Strength.
Yeah.
Instead of putting the 18 in Strength and the 16 in Dex.
Exactly. Yes. That's it. That is it. That is all I see here. And I'm like, okay. I mean, again, like you said,
I gotta get that fat difference in my AC.
Yes. Yeah. Like you said,
gotta get that fat difference to initiative.
Like you said, and like I agree with, if it works for your table, it works for your table. Like, fine. But you're not telling me anything that has changed the game enough for me to go, why would I use it? Right? Do you use Dex to mean that you know how to hit, or do you use it to mean you know where to hit, or are they synonymous? Ooh. I would say knowledge is, so maybe more brains of like how to hit. Training would be how to hit, but where to hit. No, that would also be training.
Yeah.
I'd use it for where to hit. How to hit is intelligence.
Yeah, that was my initial like knee-jerk reaction. But
so what I'm gathering from this is that you can use any ability score other than Constitution and Charisma to hit people.
Yeah,
because you can do it with Strength, you can do it with Dex, or Intelligence, or Wisdom.
Even Charisma in the Bard's case.
That's well. How would you use Charisma to help you hit somebody? I'm just curious.
Make a song. Or
that hits them in the feels.
Yeah, dude. Vicious mockery is
right.
The thing.
No, I understand that, but we're talking about a weapon. We're talking about a weapon to hit.
How dare you ask?
No, I got it. You could use your charisma to make a weapon that's like really fucking flashy and distracting. While they're distracted, you can hit them better. There.
Actually, you can.
I would say dexterity more for like performing.
Your spiritual weapon. which you could cast that off of charisma.
I understand that we're talking, but again, you do,
Yeah.
but that already has the spell attack bonus and such, so and that's 5e as well, so I don't know. Charisma could be a distraction. That's fair. Technically, you use charisma for touch spells. That's also true. Yeah.
The only one that doesn't really make any sense to me, at least, would be Constitution.
Yeah.
Because, like,
I'm just really tough, and I hit you better.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
My muscles are so tough that, like, you hit me with the mace, and the mace bounces off me and hits you in the head.
There you go. That's
God damn it, Muscle Wizard! Every time.
Yeah,
it's more of an explanation of what it is instead of an explanation of why to do exactly.
He lives with me. How can he not?
You live with Joseph Joestar? I'm jealous.
Yeah, dude.
Monk.
Nice.
But so, even in a system where I gave them the option to use dexterity to damage, strength is still being chosen in equal measure. In my experience, it hasn't increased.
It's not equal. It's absolutely not equal. They're choosing strength.
Yeah, you kind of just demonstrated that it's kind of not, because your strength, even with your dex bonus and damage, they're still doing more damage as the strength characters.
Did he say that there were 2 other people that took weapons for dex because they wanted the dex bonus to their damage? Because if he said that, then okay. Then yes, you have equal examples. But I don't think he said that.
I mean, what I would just do is use dex for damage, just so I could have, like, essentially strength be my dump stat.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you absolutely could.
Yeah, because it's like that allows for dex as damage, dex for initiative, dex
not
for
in 2e.
check. Yeah. I'm truth be told, dude, I don't remember much of my time of 2e. I remember basically my time that, like, I spent in 5e.
Right.
Because I did the one shot in 2e and that was it.
Yeah, I know. Well, in 2e, your perception is used for your initiative. So it's wisdom. Yeah.
It's really nice.
It's really good, actually. And so with this, like, you could try to do it with your dump stat, but then in Pathfinder 2e, they also have bulk, like he was talking about, where strength matters so that you can actually carry enough. Because they actually do it in a way that's not like points every 0.5 pounds, right? No, it's just everything is a bulk, or it's like 2 bulk, right?
Yeah.
And it's really easy to keep track of, this is my max bulk.
Yeah, it's kind of like in Vampire, where you have resources instead of each individual fucking gold, silver, copper, and the most important coin, Electrum.
Hey, Steely. Oh, good. No tornadoes. That's good.
No reaction calling Electrum the most important coin? Damn it.
Oh, sorry. No, I didn't hear that.
You turned it out. Okay, you tuned it out.
Yeah, I tuned it out.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so that's the thing. With this, like, again, all the stats are useful. Like, there's nothing that you would want to be dumped, except for, I guess, if you go, as Dave had said, the stereotypical way. Or you want to do it for a character reason, right? The dump stat that I think would be the most easy to do is charisma every time.
Yeah.
Like, that's the one thing that I think everything can really be. The one stat in every TTRPG that can be the dump stat pretty reliably, just because, like, charisma. Unless your DM actually plays it out of, like, hey, I have a 6 in charisma, so people don't want to talk to you and people don't want to be around you, right? Because you're just not socially you're not socially conscious enough. You can't interact with these people, right? Guys? Oh no, not again. Discord. Discord's having a day. Well, it's a good thing it's happened after the guest. The good thing that's happened after the guest has left.
Hello.
Oh, hey.
That's twice now Discord has died.
I was saying, hey, welcome back.
Whoa, Discord.
I was saying that it's a good thing this is after Dave left.
Yeah, right. Need Dave to come back so Discord will stop fucking up.
Right. Even then I get nervous because you can use charisma for lying, bartering, and scaring. I would say Dex could add to charging damage, but then I realized that in Pathfinder 2e, Dex doesn't determine movement speed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so that's the thing. You don't want to do charisma as your dump stat, but it can
But if you
be.
have to,
Yeah, if you want to be
have
as
a dump stat,
yeah, if you want to be as optimal as possible, charisma is your dump stat, right?
Yeah.
Like that's just how that is. But if you want it to be a character reason, or if you want anything else, like anything else is fine. And regardless, I don't obviously just say go as optimally as possible. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that's
more Aiden's department.
Um,
But I think you guys are also now in. Remind me, I don't actually remember. You don't roll stats in Pathfinder. Fuck, you don't roll stats in Pathfinder, correct?
No, you don't. You choose from the everything's at 10, and then your backgrounds and your ancestry give you boosts.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, because what I was gonna say is you guys are forgetting the obvious solution to every problem here. Just roll straight 18s.
Oh, that's true. Well, there is the variant you could do. You could roll them. So yeah, you're right. Just get 18s and everything.
Just roll straight 18s, and then there's nothing to worry about.
Nothing
you
at
big
all.
bastards.
I admit the strength is kind of my dump for my bard. Charisma is my main. Dex is for my fighting and thieving. Int for my knowledge checks. Wiz for initiative. Everyone uses con. Strength isn't up there. That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, because con. I mean, hilariously, the funniest thing is that if you want to truly have a dump stat that might not ever actually bite you in the ass much, would actually be con, and then you just never get into a fight with that character. You just always run away and hide.
You could do that as well. Goes optimally as possible. Cody, is that you? Just roll 18s, guys. All right, let's see what else he's gonna say.
Encouraged anyone who tried to ham it up with dexterity, because the reality is that 2nd edition is built so much better than 3.0, Pathfinder 1st edition, and in my opinion 5th edition in terms of balance. It's a really solid system, and I think that when they made
21 minutes 34 seconds in, we have seen one claim made.
Oh man,
it's true.
Yep.
You guys want to bet we go the rest of the video and not see a claim for why we should use Dex for damage?
I'm gonna be generous, and I'm gonna say it's gonna take another 3 minutes until we get another claim.
Okay, so don't unpause it really quick. I don't know if you guys are.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are paused at the exact same second that I am, but I'm playing Phantasy Star right now and just in the casino.
Yeah.
And I'm watching the slot machine, and then when you pause it, I hear you guys talking. I look back at the fucking video, and I see that coming out of his hair is that little curly Q, and I'm like, was that there before? Did he always have like a fucking curly?
You mean the design in the back on his fireplace?
The design in the back. I know.
Yeah. That's always
that was really funny to me.
Yeah. Look on Bard, you guys go ahead. I'll stand back here and sing. Try not to get more than 60 feet from me. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right?
All right, so yeah, let's see if we get another claim.
the decision to not allow Dex to damage to every class, only the thief, I honestly think they were basing that decision either on non-finalized rules where they hadn't completed all those changes, or from a mindset where they were still remembering how overpowered it was and thinking that they could just that they would just rather avoid the possibility of it being overpowered by limiting it in that one big way. But I think they built a nearly perfectly balanced system especially in terms of at least the ability scores, where it's not necessary to make that distinction and make that nerf to dexterity.
What I would argue in opposition to you is that there is no reason for you to ever use your dexterity as a damage buff, just because of the way that they have made the system. Like, I'm sorry, I can just say the exact opposite of what you're saying, and nothing has changed. Tell me something else, please.
With all that said, why should you do it?
Oh,
I just made a case for why characters are not more effective having dexterity added in. I've made cases for how well balanced the ability
another
scores
30
are.
seconds.
So why should you make this change that's potentially going to have problems? Well, for one thing, it can be a nice way to increase the number of types of builds available to players. A character who wants to build a dex-based fighter and has no need to focus on strength can still put up high damage. Not as high as if he was using a 1d8 strength-based weapon, certainly.
Okay.
But high damage nonetheless. Something that by choosing a 1d6, a rapier, or a scimitar, whether it's for a really specific character option, focusing on certain traits, or just a flavor option. They just like the idea of having the rapier or the scimitar, or having the two knives even. These character concepts that are a lot less viable without adding dexterity to damage become more viable without breaking the game. And it allows characters or players to make their characters feel even more different, feel even more varied, and it allows them to make decisions based on flavor without having to worry about how mechanically bad a choice may be. And I really do feel like it's one of the few blind spots of the system that, as customizable and universal and pick what you want, there's no bad decisions. If you're anything except a thief rogue, using anything besides a strength-based weapon is usually a bad idea. And it's something that I think is counterintuitive in a lot of ways to what second edition is about.
So my question is, are we just saying that, because I'm looking at weapons in Pathfinder 2e, and I'm trying to figure out which ones have finesse and which don't. And all the ones that already have finesse are the ones that he's talked about. So why would we not just have them use the finesse and already get that bonus, because that's what finesse does? Finesse, the trait, if I read this word for word, says you can use your dexterity modifier instead of your strength modifier on attack rolls using this melee weapon. You can still use your strength modifier when calculating damage. So it is just never mind. It is on attack rolls. Doesn't say it for damage. Okay, never mind.
And I actually kind of like that reasoning, where it's pretty much specifically just to make less optimal builds more viable, just to increase the quantity of builds that people might choose. I'm perfectly okay with that.
The only thing that I think is, I don't see what's stopping these people from doing that anyway, right? If you're already on the mindset of, I want to have this build where I am using, say, 2 sickles, right? That's me, Sickleman. Why not just do that? Secondly, again, the finesse weapons still can use the strength, so there's no reason why you don't have to, you can still put the points into strength, and then they still do the same damage. You get what I'm saying? Because with the dexterity stuff, you get a little bit more AC. Unless you are playing this character that is using heavy armor, in which case you have a cap, right? But in that case, again, the strength is where you want to be, so that you can, the strength is it doesn't hinder you, and having a higher dex doesn't do anything for you, right? I don't. Why would I not just go, I'm going to be strength based, but I'm also going to use 2 sickles? Doesn't make them less viable. It makes it so that it doesn't make it more viable even. It just makes it so that it's exactly the same as if you were a strength character using 2 sickles.
As if you put that 18 in strength instead of that 18 in dex.
That is literally it. We're just advocating for the placement of your 18. basically.
The character with 2 sickles. He gained the title Father of Sickles, but his friends call him Popsicle.
I was gonna make a creamsicle pun the next sentence. God damn it!
Oh, I hate it.
You can do that too. Go for it.
I was gonna say his friends always said he was a cream of the crop. They called him creamsicle for
Very
short.
good.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck.
The character who uses 2 sickles, he was actually gay, so they called him Fudge Sickle. No.
No. Doesn't work.
Sorry.
If no.
Sweet demonetization.
Scythes aren't finesse weapons because you have to use 2 hands. They're big. They're huge.
Yes, sides, not sickles.
Yeah, sickles. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Sides are also tactically useless in terms of combat.
Yes.
Very bad.
Trust me, I say this as someone who loves sides in every game he ever plays.
By the way, Aiden, you can use
sides are real bad.
You can use sides and katanas in this game. They're new.
I'm not weep enough.
It's true.
You can fly through the air, right?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Can you punch things?
Yes, there are knuckle weapons.
All right, cool.
Yep.
He's already there. Yeah. But scythes are cool.
Already,
no, absolutely. Scythes are cool.
Yeah.
You don't need
absolutely.
dexterity for that shit. You're good.
They're just terrible weapons.
They're just bad.
Yeah, and we're talking real life, not in the video.
Not
in the games. They're fine in games.
Having your blade be perpendicular to like the axis of motion is bad.
Yeah,
I would love to. I would love to see just a show or something where somebody tries to use a scythe, the other person fucking hits it, and it just slides into them. Because they lose their grip slightly, and it just goes right into their body.
Yep.
It's just like, oh.
Scythes have one advantage, and that's the same advantage that quarterstaffs have, which is that you can't cut through them easily.
Oh. Yeah.
And range. Yeah. But it's like, if your opponent has a shield, bro, you are fucked.
Yeah, that's when you need either a halberd or a spear.
Yeah.
Like pointy stick has always been the method of victory. Like spears have been number 1 since the beginning.
Absolutely.
But Aiden, though, I want to have a pointy stick, but the point is in the wrong direction.
But I want this.
I don't know, like an anime or something. I don't know.
There you go.
Yeah.
I like fucking.
I will say scythes were used in combat. However, what they did is they took the blade, like the metal part of the scythe, the blade, and they cut it off the pole.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then they attached the pole to the blade, but
in the proper orientation.
Yeah, it was in the proper orientation to make it like a halberd.
Yeah,
nice.
There you go. Yeah.
And in that case, it would actually be like a reverse naginata. But
you can look up combat sides.
The man that uses scythe finally came out. He likes both men and women romantically. We call him Bicycle. Fucking
damn it!
Funky Fresh.
That's so good.
God damn it. I figured you guys needed to hear it.
Or sorry, war scythes.
That's right, war scythes were a thing.
Yep.
Anyway, let's see about another claim that he might have. Maybe he made another one, and I'm proud of him. We're getting there.
Now, with that said, I'm definitely biased. I really like the idea of having a dex-based character who can deal damage without having to also have strength. And I also, I'm part of this is me bringing in these real-world concepts as well. As somebody with very limited, not anything to brag about, but I'm pretty nerdy. I've played with swords before, and I like rapiers, and
you studied the blade.
Looked into a lot of behind the scenes fight choreography and things like that. And, weapons like a rapier, there's no place for strength with a rapier besides just, control. But if you try to,
That's important. Control is really important, my man. There's no place for strength except for control. The thing that you do with your sword to make it so that you hit them well and in a way that they cannot block you and such. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, do you want to bring the thing I put up?
Yeah. Give me a sec. I'm creating the window so that I can put it there. It's get ready, everybody. You're gonna see the most amazing fucking sign.
Oh boy,
I love them. They're really good. Look at these.
So the funny thing is that's like seeing two people use their sidearms to try to kill each other instead of a weapon.
Yeah.
Because there's a saying that I heard a long time ago. I don't even remember what it was, but it was basically saying in basic training in the army that the person who was like teaching the class said that your sidearm is worthless in your knife is worthless in combat.
Yeah.
And that the reason why it's so worthless is because that means that somehow you've misplaced your rifle.
Yeah.
Somehow. I don't know how you managed it, but you did. And somehow, against all odds, you managed to not only become separated from your main gun, but your sidearm as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about
and then in fighting knife-to-knife combat, not only did you manage to get separated from your gun, but so did they.
So now, why
bother learning it?
Exactly.
In that context, are you talking about like old school warfare, like sword?
No. Nowadays, modern.
Well, I mean, there are cases where if you say you're disarmed, and before they're able to actually, shoot you, maybe you get up under their guard and stab them.
They would shoot you.
That's a French case.
Yeah.
The 20-foot rule is a thing.
Yeah.
The what?
If your opponent is within 20 feet of you, they are going to stab you before you shoot them.
That's true. You're right. Yeah, you're right. I learned from surviving edged weapons. You're right.
Yeah.
You need a ways. You're right. Okay. Anyway.
Also, I have posted a photo of a war scythe for those who are curious.
Yes, that is war scythe right there.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. Let's continue.
Yes.
Overpower someone with a rapier, you're going to break that weapon. You're not going to deal more damage because you're strong. You're going to break it. And that's just the thing.
Sorry, what did you just say? I gotta roll that back.
He was saying that if you use too much strength while fighting with a rapier, you're going to break the rapier that you're using. Because it's basically you're attacking somebody with a wire on a handle.
Yeah, I guess, but also you have a shitty rapier. Okay.
To deal more damage because you're strong, you're going to break it. And that's just the thing. The thing with some of those weapons is about precision, not power. And it's always seemed strange to me, the idea that strength would factor in at all with using some of those weapons that, in the real world, not really. And listen, this isn't the real world, and we all know it, of course. But there's just, everybody's got their hang-ups, and that happens to be one of mine. So that's why, those are all the reasons why I do the dexterity damage, and why I don't think that it's going to hurt your game if you do it.
Thank you for your
It's going to be a nice way for you to encourage your players to build in ways that aren't necessarily supported. It's going to be a way to diversify the types of attacks and weapons that you see when it's not just rogues that are using those light D6 weapons, because the fighter feels like he can use it without taking such a huge hit to his damage output.
No. It's not because of your dexterity bonus. That's literally going to give you a little bit, and you're still going to be underutilizing your potential. You just take a better weapon. That's literally all you do. If you want a bigger damage number, you get a bigger sword.
Yeah.
That's literally it. Like, I understand what you're trying to say. You want to see these people do this. That's fair. Again, all these finesse weapons can be taken by anyone who wants to take them, and they can still use their strength bonus on them.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't, like... I'm so done.
It's not going to break your game. One thing that it will do is it's going to make your thief racket need something else to boost it. So what could this be? I don't know. I'm reluctant to just give them a damage boost. Thankfully, I don't have any thief racket rogues. I did just get one, actually. And I think what I did with him was I just gave him an extra class feat.
Okay, hold on real quick. I want to listen to him say a sentence again.
Go for it. Drag it back.
So what could this be? I don't know. I'm reluctant to just give them a damage boost. Thankfully, I don't have any thief racket rogues. I did just get one, actually.
So thankfully, I don't have any thief racket rogues. I did just get one, actually.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So okay. Cool.
That's
We're at 26 minutes or 27 minutes, really.
27, yeah.
I'm not even gonna give him the extra second. There's a contradiction in there somewhere. I'll let you all look for it.
Sorry.
I think what I did with him was I just gave him an extra class feat to make up for the fact that his racket boost is negligible. That may not be enough. I'm not sure. Let me know down in the comments if you have any other ideas how to balance that thief class if you do allow that dexterity.
Somebody tell me about what he's talking about with the rackets. Those of you who are out there.
Or that thief racket, I should say.
Yeah.
So thanks for coming to my TED Talk. And again, you know, this is not to convince you.
When does the video begin?
Necessarily to add dexterity damage in your game.
What?
Just a little bit. You guys were talking at the middle of it, but I believe. Ooh, hang on.
Okay. It's going back. Yeah.
This is not to convince you.
This is not to convince you.
What the fuck is the point then?
We were wrong.
What the fuck is the point then? You're just telling me about something that you do. It's like me. It's like every vlogger ever. It's
Alejo.
Yeah.
Can I have my 2 hours back?
No, I can't give them back. I wish I could.
Oh.
What?
Hey guys,
it hurts.
I thought he was making points and arguments, but no, he's just telling us about his days.
I'm gonna go ahead and eat a Pop-Tart.
Oh.
Okay, well.
Wow.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
The purpose of this video wasn't to convince you. At least he says it.
Like,
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I'm going to try to give you things to convince you. He says at some point, not in those exact words, but he's trying very hard to convince us that this is okay to use, and then at the end he's like, I'm not trying to convince you.
Yeah, I'm not trying to tell you to do anything, but
So Nug says the point is just to bring up a discussion in the 2E community that's brought up. That's what I meant earlier by an observation video, not an argument necessarily. So no, he's also giving us examples, points, like literally things that we can try to refute in order to tell us why he's using it, so that we could be convinced to use it. Like, we could be convinced that this isn't a bad thing. This isn't an observation. He's making his stand. He's making a point. It's not just an observation.
He does it.
That he does it, yeah. And that it's something that isn't going to break the game. That's what he's trying to tell us.
Ironically, what a great way to strike while the iron is glacially cold. Like, way to manage dex to damage as a house rule when I'm sure like everyone and their mom is already talking about it.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Welcome to my TED Talk where I give a lukewarm opinion.
Yeah.
Lukewarm. I think it's being generous.
Yeah, it's a little generous.
All right.
Not necessarily
It's not
add
one way or the
dexterity
other.
damage in your game
Is
at
the
all.
definition of lukewarm.
Always run the game that you want to run, that you're comfortable with, that makes sense to you and your table.
Yeah.
But I did want to, it's something that's going to not only, has come up in the past and will continue to come up, is my dexterity to damage house rule. And I just wanted to explain that a little bit.
Here's the thing. It wouldn't come up if you didn't make it come up. If you didn't make the video, no one would know that you do this. This wouldn't come up. Huh.
This is going to be the only time I ever say this. I don't think we need to finish the video.
I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. Like
he's not going to redeem himself.
He's not telling me.
He can't redeem himself
in 40
not
seconds.
in a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So like he's just gonna fap about for another 50 seconds. It's not worth our time.
I know, you're right. You're absolutely right. And so we'll stop the video there. That's Collective Arcana, everybody. And to be fair, the other videos that I've seen on his channel are pretty good. Like
I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
They may be.
That's the thing. This is not a good first impression for anybody that doesn't know the channel.
I don't know the channel.
Yeah.
Alejo,
I'm thinking I'm kind of sick of it.
Alejo, I have to ask something here.
Yeah.
When you say that the rest of his videos are good, are you trying to convince me of something? Are you?
Well,
yeah, you're trying to convince
I don't
me
know.
one way or the other.
Not sure.
I mean, it's really up to you whether or not you think that they're good.
Oh God. Oh, I hate it.
Oh man.
Oh,
I'm sure he's a nice guy. He
seems like a very cool, very nice guy. And that, again, not offensive video. It's not offensive at all.
No,
in fact, it is the farthest thing from offensive.
Yeah, it's like
It is so.
It is so desperate to not make a claim.
Exactly. Collective Arcana are a bit passive, but they do have some good videos that are worth a watch. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure they are.
I'm sure his videos are actually good.
This is the thing. Like, he's been on my radar, and I've been hoping that we could cover him at some point when we had somebody to talk Pathfinder with, right? Mm-hmm. That's what I've wanted, and then we watched this. I don't know. Yeah,
it happens.
And okay. So Nugs even says runes and class abilities will make those numbers not matter as much in the end. Absolutely, I think so too. Absolutely. Yeah. Lisa wasn't an overstate of his claims. That is true. And is the new commandment, thou shall add dex to damage if thou really wants to. I don't know.
I guess.
I guess, I don't know. Don't let me tell you what to do.
Don't listen to what I'm saying. That's what I figured. I mean, as a bard, I have
if it's okay for your table, just make it so long that it trails off the page.
Yeah. Mr. DM, what do you do at our table? Well, I just sit here and I listen to you all.
And okay, guys, you guys ready to play the session? Story? What? No, that's your job.
Again, like clowning on him a bit, but just because, like, that's just like, what are we supposed to do?
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do with this? I don't know.
Do we have another video or not?
We will.
Okay, I was just curious. I'm not upset, don't worry.
No.
Clowning aside, my official opinion is that, like, I'm sure his videos are good. As an intro video, this is not the kind to make me watch more. This is not the kind to make me want to watch more, because, like, honestly, I do feel kind of sick of watching his content.
That's fair.
How like after like 30 minutes of nothing. However, like I'm sure the rest of his videos are fine and like well researched and everything. It's just like, God, that like make a claim.
Yeah, exactly. He made 2 claims and backed them up very, very like poorly, I think.
Yeah, the video, if you could describe the video in one word, I would say anemic. There's just nothing to it, really.
I would actually correct you on that. I would say anorexic.
Either or.
Oh, Christ. Wowie. Okay. Wow. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the midpoint of the show. So before we go too much further, we will read the comments that we got before. But before that, it is time for shoutouts and Shill talk. So we are brought to you by our lovely patrons. Thank you so much.
Looking
From
at you, Steely.
Our Patreon, patreon.com/tabletalkdnd. So first up, right off the bat, we've got Draco Kusagi with his 3 months, or not 3 months, wow, tier 3, that's it. And yeah, it's the tier 3, fucking, it's crazy. Why? I will say, I did buy new headphones. It wasn't technically with your money, but don't worry, it's we'll say that it is. How about that? I bought new headphones, so we're good. I don't have tape on them anymore. So you're welcome. Because you told me to, so I did. Then we have Slazer. Thank you as well for that tier 3. Very cool. And then Steely, tier 3. Flipping them tables, these boys. Flipping them in the sky. We have Drake Cross at tier 2. Thank you so much. Mog Zero at the tier 2 as well. Thank you so very much. And Chris at tier 1. Thank you. Frozen Spaghetti, tier 1 as well. Thank you. And Kill Chrono at tier 1. Thank you as well. I don't know how many more times I'm going to be able to say thank you in interesting and unique ways, because this time I didn't. But thanks to you all, it really, like, super appreciate it. It's crazy that you do give money. It's fucking insane. Again, if you want to support us through the Patreon, go for it, but only if you are able to, of course.
You know, it'd be fucking crazier than that, though.
What?
If they gave us more.
That would be more insane. That is true.
Yeah. That's why you shouldn't do it.
So there's also, of course, we have the logo itself on shirts, on mugs, on pillows, all that kind of stuff over at tpublic.com. You can find the logo that you can buy things for. So go look it up. Table Talk. You can find it easy.
Hey, Alejo.
Hey, hi.
So with merch, can we get an artist to do an artistic rendering of Aiden's profile picture and put that on a body pillow?
On a body pillow? Ooh.
Yes. So that way we can have a hit word.
I don't know. I don't know where.
Do it so that I can buy it.
Of course. I don't know where to go for a body pillow, but I will research. Don't worry.
Probably like Etsy. Probably get one there.
Probably, yeah. That's true.
Yeah. I mean, Etsy can do it. Probably.
I'll just buy one for Aiden. that's all we'll
buy
do.
One for Aiden and then fucking get hit word on it or something.
But anyway.
Actually had a conversation the other day with someone like trying to convince me to buy like a body pillow because I like scrunched down on a pillow and was like, why don't you get a body pillow? And I was like, I don't have a good reason for that, so like yeah, might as well get my profile pic.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I already don't see it on every single site I'm on. Why not add that to
in real life?
Yeah, why not add that to like in my consciousness while I'm asleep too?
God damn it.
I'm sure there'll be no harmful effects of that.
No,
no, not at all.
Be fine. Well, I mean,
So-
hell, when they resurrect him,
Mhm.
you'll be right on the list of people he might not immediately murder.
Ah.
They inevitably resurrect him.
So, the other thing that I want to say is that just in this moments of shilling out as usual, there is if I can figure it out, there is Streamlabs. That is a thing that will allow for those who aren't necessarily into the idea of subscribing to the Patreon, right? Like if and again, this is a big if you are able to and if you want to, right? There are many conditions here. You could potentially donate to us directly and not through Patreon. That is another avenue that I will be setting up. But again, it's not like it's an obligation. Don't think it is. Please.
It's not an obligation, it's a demand.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, just I won't read your name out loud or something. Oh, wow.
God damn it.
Yeah.
But
No,
so
actually, don't donate to us if you can't.
yes, exactly. Don't do that if you can. So
Times are tougher than ever.
absolutely. So I'll put that up probably by next time if I figure it out, because it's been a while since I've worked at it or worked with Streamlabs. So
Funky, you like I said that and I was just like, that sounds an awful lot like the video I just watched, and then I looked to my left and then there's your comment.
don't make any claims. He's just saying. Anyway, so that's that. Let's move on to comments since we didn't get there. Before. So there's also support through contributing boosts to the Discord server. That's true. Yeah, you could do that.
There's
Oh, yeah.
also support by gifting me nitro.
Shut up. A way to give more money, you say? Oh, no. Cracking. No, no. Okay. So
Working on finding it for you.
well, I'll post it in the Discord and stuff. I'll post the things that if you want to give messages and stuff along with the money, that'll be the thing with the Streamlabs, and we can read them on stream and such. But that's a future thing. We'll get there. Anyway,
Alejo.
hello.
We need to do streams of Rise when we all get it.
We could.
That could be fun to like for a digital distraction. That could be fun.
Well, I know.
Oh, Monster Hunter. Okay.
Yeah. I know. Rogan doesn't want to like worry about making like
Just
content.
tell him
and
we're
stuff.
not doing it.
No, I would have to tell him first off.
It's true.
In my mind, Rise is the League of Legends character. So
Gotcha.
I got real confused for
Yeah.
a second.
It's been like a long time since I've thought of Rise. Wow.
Dude, it's been a while since I played League of Legends. Like
That's good.
September, September, October of last year.
That's good.
I played it last year as well, actually, and I went on and I was like, oh, they deleted all my friends. Nice. they completely
It's like,
deleted my
oh.
friends list. Neat.
Oh, this
Damn.
game's still garbage. Oh, I don't know what I expected.
Anyway, so
Must have thought you were a bot.
dude, probably. So comments. Last time we talked about vampire, and so we have some comments on the vampire. So Indigo Dragon says the Sabat book is being written right now, which is cool. As for other clans, there are more in other books. The Camarilla book has the Banu Hakim clan, which is a clan dedicated to justice and adhere to a strict code of conduct, and were the Assamites in previous editions. Okay. The Anarch's book has the Ministry clan, the followers of Set from previous editions. They trace their lineage to the Egyptian god of Set, and it's very much a clan, that's its own cult and tends to embrace criminals and religious zealots. Cool.
Ooh.
Chicago by Night has the La Sombra clan, arrogant asses that feel they deserve to be in charge. Survivors, so Venture. Survivors, they are a clan in transition, as some have been allowed to join the Camarilla while others are staying anarchs. Oh, okay. Well, that's a lot of clans, to be fair. Cults of the Blood Gods has the Hecate clan, which is a new canned form of what was left of a few clans that almost got wiped out. Their origins come from ancient Greece and Rome, and they love their cults and human followers. That's awesome.
Ooh.
There are 3 other clans on the World of Darkness website that you can get for free. I need to go there. Are you guys going to record Vampire, by the way? I want to hear the adventures of the vampire graffiti artist. That would be fun. I would definitely want to run...
I would be totally down.
Yeah, I definitely want to run at least some Vampire for us. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
We'll get there. You know,
I mean, hell, I'm usually a forever DM, so I don't mind fucking playing.
That's fair. Yeah.
Oh, that means I need to buy the vampire books too.
No, you don't.
You already should. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could just give them the PDF if you want.
I already
own... Oh, wait, no, I can give you the PDF.
No,
I have.
it's okay.
I already own 3.5, 5e, Pathfinder 2e, a Kickstarter book for 5e. Might as well.
So you're telling me that your bookshelf is not chock full yet?
My book fridge is pretty chock full, actually.
And I'm
Wait,
sorry.
Are you storing them in or on the fridge?
On the fridge.
Okay, thank fuck.
Does that mean you don't own the Call of Cthulhu books? Because you're going to need one of them, too.
God damn it. I need to get a Kickstarter put together.
No.
I was gonna buy the Mech Warrior books next. God damn it.
I mean, hell, why don't you use your fucking
buy them
table
all.
flipper money for that?
That's true.
Because I already used it to buy a mug for a professor that said I have resting lich face.
Oh, that's good.
Oh my god,
very
that's
good.
incredible. Fucking love
Anyway,
it.
so it continues. Oh, about the second.
Enter sweats.
Yeah. Oh, right. He says, great discussion about Vampire. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, about the Second Inquisition. Blame the arrogant Camarilla. They wanted the Sabbat to get taken out, so the leaders of our wise Camarilla leaked information to some secret government and religious factions about the Sabbat in Europe. Then after that, that worked, the humans decided to push on to take out all vampires they can find. Fucking Camarilla almost broke the masquerade themselves and now are part of the hunted too. That's true.
Ooh. So they broke their own, like, cardinal rule.
Well, yeah, I think they were trying to do it in such a way that it wouldn't reveal them, but they almost did. So they're fucked. Just like everybody now.
And we are.
Side note, the humans don't know who or what leaked them the info, but damn, are they glad. It's all stakes and hearts and sunlight vacation spots for any vamp they can find. That is true.
Nice.
That is true.
Oh, that's such a great... Oh, that's good writing shit.
Yeah. Also, Lux says... I wouldn't exactly call making someone a Dark Lord in Ravenloft a reward. It actually means the character is pretty screwed. An evil demiplane has taken enough of a direct interest in that character to trap them in a realm specifically designed to psychologically torture them, while simultaneously using them to torment everyone else in that realm. They could even be turned into some kind of undead creature themselves as part of the deal, without even knowing that's what they were signing up for. It's definitely a bad ending to the campaign.
Okay, then.
Very much.
Then that's good to know. I did not know that.
After thinking about it, I believe I would turn the murder hobos into whites specifically. The D&D version is what I have in mind, but the Vampire the Masquerade concept of whites seems pretty befitting of murder hobos as well. They refuse to stop killing people, and now they can't stop killing. They've been given their own personal domain to rule over, but all they can do is compulsively kill any living person who enters it. I suppose the players may or may not see that as a reward. It's kind of subjective, but either way, I'll have snagged a nice set of villains to use for future campaigns. So it's a win for me. That's fair.
Shit, man, we got some good fucking writers in our group. Shit. In our community, I should say.
Yeah. It's just too bad there's no way I'll be able to use a villain concept like that until I get a group of low-level adventurers that do something bad enough to get pulled into Ravenloft and still manage to survive, even with me actively trying to kill them. Vampire the Masquerade really hasn't caught my attention before. I'm generally more into medieval, ancient, or future, not so much modern times, but even with fantastical elements. So the video built some interest, but I don't really have a lot to comment on. The first thought that really jumped out at me is that I'd probably be more interested in the antediluvian lore as a setting, and the city of Enoch in particular, than the actual modern-day setting of the game. I did go ahead and take a bit of a wiki dive, and now I kind of wish the Path of Enlightenment had come up in this video, which I don't know what that is. That alternative sparks joy for me more than humanity does, honestly. I like getting into alien mindsets, because screw being human. I want to be weird and terrifying. That's how I try to live my life.
Yes, same.
Actually, I really like the Path of the Beast, so I think I'd make a character based on that, and that's all I came up with this time. Usually he's got the very long things. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. With Vampire, I'm pretty sure there are other things of, like, you can set it in other time periods as well. Like, you're fine. You definitely can change the skills up, even with the 5th edition, to make it so it works. Perfectly reasonable.
Dude, I still want my idea of the vampire we discussed like 2 vampire episodes ago, of the who does animal control on, like, raccoons.
Yeah, that's right.
It is like a Pokemon trainer.
Totally good.
Since you mentioned, it's kind of slightly unrelated to Vampire, but since you mentioned you prefer to do things in, like, medieval stuff like that, if you were ever interested in running Call of Cthulhu, there is actually a dedicated, I don't know about how dedicated it is, but there is a Cthulhu setting called Cthulhu Invictus, and it is Cthulhu set in Roman times.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Cool.
So if you're ever interested in doing Call of Cthulhu in more of a medieval time or more fantasy-y time, then you could run that if you were interested in it.
Absolutely.
Just thought I'd mention that, sorry.
No, you're good. It's a good idea. I think next to Malkavians, my favorite run-through of Bloodlines was a Tremere. The Tremere magic was slick as hell. Yeah, dude. I'm playing a Tremere right now. It's great.
Nice.
And then on episode 15, Lux also says, all right, one more comment for this week. At one point in this episode, you mentioned that this was ways to improve your role-playing. So at one point in this episode, you mentioned that you have to do something about it when players are behaving badly and not just hope they'll stop. And yeah, I definitely agree with that, which brought me back to the topic of the theoretical murder hobos and how I would deal with them. For any readers in the future confused about what I'm talking about right now and related to some comments I've left in some other videos. It's kind of true that my thinking on that issue drifted somewhat away from solving the problem, more into the realm of salvaging a decent story outcome from the situation. So bearing that in mind, I'm going to say that I'd still use the idea that I had and hope it made the point I meant for it to make. But if the players actually take it as some kind of reward instead of understanding the intended message of your characters have messed up just about as badly as they possibly could have, I suppose that's the point where I would have to give up on trying to use an in-character solution to the problem, just openly tell them, okay, that's great, but enough is enough. Until I find that I can trust them not to go murder hobo again. I think I'll be accompanying their party with a DMPC cleric of Heronius and warn them that if they try to kill someone without justification, the cleric will fight them. And if the cleric dies in that circumstance, Heronius himself will appear and smite them dead. Oh, Jesus.
Shit!
That is more draconian than I like to be. Even saying that, I feel like I'm using a jackhammer to crack an egg. Yeah, I would say so. But we're talking about an extreme situation at this point where the egg is actually made of concrete. Fair. There aren't many situations where I'd resort to a hostile DM style. A case of absolutely determined murder hobos is one of them. The only other I can think of easily would be if a player was harassing another player in some way through unwelcomed in-character actions and refused to stop when told politely. But honestly, this point is pretty academic for me. I haven't really ever had any problems that reach the stage I'm talking about right now. That's good. Probably the best thing to do to prevent any of this is mention in session 0, especially to new players, that actions in character will in fact result in consequences for that character. So, right, extra rant on that topic now concluded. I hope it was coherent. It was, yeah. And ways to improve your role-playing. Don't be a murder hobo. I can see where
when
you're
you
against.
learn that your actions have consequences. .gif.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Remember that your character can die, and also that your character wants to live. Your character is a person, not just a vehicle for the cool powers on your character sheet, even if you're itching to use those powers. Exactly. Your character is a person, not a class, and not an alignment. Your rogue doesn't know what the heck a rogue is. Your rogue is a person who knows how to sneak around unseen, pick locks, spot and disable traps, etc. Your barbarian will probably put his axe through your face if you call him a barbarian. Your bard probably knows what a bard is. Your wizard probably knows what a wizard is, but might not. And the best way to improve your role-playing, interact in character with other characters. The more you do it, the more naturally it will come to you, so do it more. That should be enough to make this comment relevant to the episode. It's posted on Going to Sleep now.
Okay.
Well, thank you for the
Bye.
comment. Thank you for the comment. And yes,
Yes.
I
Good night. Rest well.
Good night, Lux. Good night. Okay.
Bye.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
No.
Raccoons are freaking clever as hell. They can get into just about anything they want to. It's amazing and infuriating. I would imagine. Yeah. We just saw a raccoon cross the street today, and that's not great because we have a dog and we don't want the dog to get rabies from a potential rabies raccoon. So, gotta figure out how to keep that raccoon out. Yeah, because raccoons can get rabies.
Rabid?
That's true. That is the word.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah, anyway.
I'm an idiot. Shut up.
Yes.
See ya, Draco Kraken. So, that being said, that is that. Now, we have choices, boys. We have choices. Yes. Many choices on the next,
Oh, fuck. Sorry.
No, you're good. So, let me go to my, what I need.
How the hell did I make that jump?
So because I didn't have time because of the, technical difficulties, I also was not able to get the link to the second video before doing it. So, so let us go with, so we have a couple of things. Now, they're both from a lovely, they're both from, not lovely, they're both from, they're three actually, that are from, Garibay, J. Scott Garibay, if you remember, that one. I don't think, Aiden, were you here for him? I don't think you were.
I was not included in this, so I have no idea.
And I can't remember for the life of me. Who did?
Remember that accents are racist?
Oh, yeah! I remember that!
Remember that?
Oh, yeah, Aiden, you missed it!
Yeah, you missed that. So before, like, that was a whole thing that we covered. It was great.
It was amazing.
It was great. So I also was like, oh, he probably has something on Pathfinder. He does. He has 3 things.
Okay.
So my question to you boys is, do we want to cover, how did we land in a world where Savage Worlds, let's see, what is the full title of this one? How did we land in a world, where Savage Worlds Pathfinder is a viable product? Garibay on Pathfinder 2e, what Paizo should do, or Garibay on Pathfinder 2e, here we go.
What they should do.
What we should do? Okay.
Yeah, what they should do, yes.
That's fair. Now, disclaimer,
that sounds the most like making a solid claim.
Absolutely. And he in this is before I think Pathfinder is totally out. Let me check the dates.
Oh.
Yeah, 2018, March 10th, 2018. Pathfinder wasn't out entirely, but he had some opinions apparently on what they should do with it. So, oh god, him again. This is Pizza Funk. So,
dude, I haven't like seen him, and I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. So he's in his car as he usually is. This time, with this camera angle, it's great. Here we go, descriptive. I know, that's a great title, isn't it? So
that's a weird username, Garibay. Like, not judging.
That's
like,
his name, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is his real name, actually. This is his channel.
Huh.
We're going on a drive, boys. Here we go.
We're going for a fucking ride.
I've never heard that name before, but okay.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I'm going to be talking about what Paizo should do with Pathfinder 2e. So this is not speculation on what they're going to do. This is more what should they do with Pathfinder 2e. Okay. All right. Okay. So you have Paizo. They've acknowledged that their game's super old, and the Pathfinder 1e is 10 years old, and they're really struggling because Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition has come out. So what do they do with this? What are the opportunities with Pathfinder 2e, and what should Paizo do? Okay, so I think there's some lessons that have been learned from recent editions. One of the biggest ones is you have to remember the lessons from 4th edition, because I think Paizo is in a position to make the same mistakes that actually caused them to succeed with Paizo 1. They could absolutely make that same mistake and then have a situation where they're in the exact same situation that Wizards of the Coast was in 4e. So here's the biggest lesson that was learned from Pathfinder 4e. Do not do anything to make your game look like a video game. A lot of tabletop role players go, oh, look at all those cool people over in the video game world. We should make our game like a video game. And then we'll get all those video gamers to come over here and play. Well, you don't want to do that, and the reason why is, tabletop role-playing games have some of the smartest fans in the world. They're
hey guys, hey Alejo, hey Aiden.
Yeah.
When you played, before you started playing tabletop RPGs, what did you do? What was one of your hobbies?
Yeah, I played video games. Why?
No, I obviously.
I also grew up playing video games.
Yeah, no.
Sorry, we're all stupid. Then.
I know. I was gonna say I obviously was just eating my own shit. Like what?
Yeah.
What the? Yeah,
smelling my own farts.
Come on, guys. Let's go have fun somewhere else. We're apparently not welcome.
Let's go have more fun in the stupid rooms.
Okay. So let me be clear about something there, Garibay. You know, there's a specific genre of video game that was made because of TTRPGs that has inspired people to literally want to play those. I don't know what it's called. I think it starts. I think it starts with a similar letter. Probably an R.
R?
Maybe. I think.
So, real time strat? No.
Oh yeah, that's it. Oh wait, no.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's it.
Strategy time.
It had game in it, I think.
It probably had game in it. That would have to be
fucking hell.
It was definitely a type of game.
I'm honestly, I'm not sure anymore. It might have not been.
Yeah.
So I love the insinuate. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, well, hold on. Let me look up Command and Conquer.
Ah, there you go. That's probably it.
Command and Conquer.
Wait, no, those are 2 C's. Rocket-powered grenade launcher? That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
So shooters?
Oh, first-person shooters. That's the genre. Yeah, that
Yeah. And guys, you know what? The thing that gets me is the insinuation that people who play RPGs, tabletop RPGs, are universally intelligent. Vastly more intelligent than other people.
Yeah, it's very much like, hey, we are the auteurs here, right?
Yeah.
Because we played TTRPGs, we didn't play those stupid video games.
We're smarter because we don't have to fucking, we write our shit down.
Yeah.
We don't just have it given to us on like a fucking menu
on the screen.
Guys, I'm on the Command and Conquer site, and it doesn't say what type of game it is. How am I supposed to know?
How am I supposed to know? I can't figure it out.
It does not say what genre it is.
So Aiden, this is Garibay. Hello.
Welcome to him.
Also, he's the new RPG pundit that we actually pay attention to sometimes.
It's funny. It's just funny.
I wonder if I look up Total War Warhammer 2, what I might find.
That's the one. There you go. So first Command and Conquer had a bang hit soundtrack. That's true. Role playing in my game? I don't believe it. Exactly. That's the thing, right? Man, you should can we also say that fucking video games took inspiration before becoming RPGs? Like, they just took inspiration from fucking Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, sorry. Fucking Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy has literal sprites that are drawings like from Dungeons and Dragons. They put them in there.
Yeah.
Like, there's some overlap here, my dude. I don't. It's crazy. It's fucking insane.
So 3 things, just real quick.
Yes.
Steely says, "I wonder how many accidents result from car vlogging."
Too many.
I was actually just thinking that to myself, because like after having been in a car accident, that was not as a result of car vlogging.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine myself driving and also like recording a video.
Oh no, it would scare the fuck out of me.
Yeah. Secondly, props to him for using his seatbelt.
Yeah, right.
Like, there's that, I
should.
guess. And then I forget what the third point was, but it didn't really matter. So,
why do you get the feeling that he's talking about himself when he says TTRPG players are among the smartest people in the world? Oh, absolutely, he is. He thinks he knows everything. This is great. It's so fun.
Are generally literate. They're generally very savvy, and the same cannot be said for the video game community.
Sorry.
Oh man, you just come right out and say it.
I just want to say what he said was they're generally literate, whereas
so
with
smart.
Whereas
He's
with
not
video
literate?
games,
They said they can read, so they must be smart.
Whereas with video games, apparently you don't read ever. You can't be like you never need to be literate.
What's on the screen?
Oh my god!
What the fuck?
I love it. I love this guy. He's such a fucking.
So,
is lol
he's a gold mine,
appropriate?
Man. I remembered what I was going to mention.
Yeah,
the third
please.
point. I am trying for the life of me to read what is on his back windshield.
I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I
It looks like
believe
it's
in
written
you.
in like old style shit.
Oh, thank you,
Like the
Steely.
font.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, hold on. I gotta pull up this meme. Funky got some meme.
Oh god, what?
It's pretty good. I like it a lot. Alright. If you look in the meme channel, you can see it, but I'll put it in the chat for you so that you don't have to go there, because I know you're lazy fucks.
Yeah.
Give me a second.
Give it to me on Discord.
Yeah. Well, it is on Discord.
On what the place I don't go?
Fuck you. You should have next damage. Okay, why? So good.
Okay, bye.
Anyway,
they're generally very literate. Why though? Because like a TV is no different functionally than a book, right?
Well, here's the thing though.
No, hold on.
Okay.
Both have a surface that you interact and read on,
right,
in order to gain information.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for a TV, that is a screen. You read text that is displayed on the screen, and you glean information from it, and you take action based on that information. Be that press start to play the fucking game. You do the same thing when you open up a book to a page and it tells you how to roll stats.
It tells you press start to play.
I don't understand how literacy is a common measure for like intelligence, because like it's kind of fucking basic in 2021, but two, I don't understand how it's relevant to TTRPGs.
To begin with, here's the thing. The video, first off, in terms of the literacy, this video was made in like 1886. So literacy was sometimes a little bit less common.
That's true. That car?
Yeah.
So 1886.
Anyway.
What is he? A Call of Cthulhu character come to life?
Like
records his videos while driving.
This is obviously
uses the ability to read as a bookmark for like how intelligent you are.
He's also definitely one of those people that really values having books and having read books above anything else, and that is some sort of signature of intelligence when it's not. First off, let's be honest.
I literally thought you were going to say his own opinion. Like I auto-completed your own sentence.
That's fair.
He values. I was like,
there's also that. He also thinks very highly of himself. But it's one of those things with that antiquated fucking idea that reading more books makes you smarter than anybody else. It's like, fuck you, man. It's not how that works. Secondly, can we also talk about...
Go for my books fridge, like... Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Book fridge.
Owns lots of D&D books.
You can read. I see you too are an intellectual.
Yeah. I was just about to say, man, you're really smart. You own all these books, dude. They're in a fucking language I don't understand.
This is giving me deja vu. Oh my god.
I didn't own those books before I played RPGs, so clearly it's the RPG's influence on me.
Whoa, I'm having way deja vu now. Have we not said this before? Have we not said this before? I feel like
I love this guy's videos. Honestly.
Anyway, so the other thing that I wanted to say is, can we also talk about how, hey, it's not just a TV screen. Maybe people are playing on their fucking PCs. Remember back when you fucking played in like the DOS era, where you had to figure out how to boot things up on your own, where you had to read how to use your DOS box, like. Or you're just DOS in general?
What the fuck are you talking about? What are you, caveman?
You're right. Yeah, I'm a Neanderthal.
Cavemen weren't smart.
Right.
Pizza Fuck says, OMG, he's a Call of Cthulhu character that survived. That's why he says insane stuff.
Yeah, right? I wonder how much sanity he's on.
Oh, not much. He might have already gone past, honestly.
He is scratching the teens, and that's being generous.
So now here's the question. Did he lose his sanity, or was that just his default character? Maybe he just rolled shit for sanity.
Alright, let's see what else he fucking says, because I'm excited now. What a claim.
Right, it's so wide and so broad that, not the smartest, most literate people in the world are attracted to video games. The mass market is attracted to video games.
Sorry, the mass market is attracted to video games. Garibay, are you fucking kidding me? You were talking about D&D 5e in another video. That is appealed to the mass market. What the fuck?
I'm sorry, it's just I'm still lost on most letters being used as a word.
I know. But also, it's just like, legitimately, D&D 5e is quite literally for the masses. It is made to be as simplistic as it needs to be in order to draw in as many people as possible.
So I think we can now confirm that he was a video game player. Most literist.
Oh my god. Yeah. Garibay is a cryptid. He played so much TTRPGs that he's speaking tongues beyond our comprehension, and he's gained immortality. I had to use a boot disc back in the day, 3.5-inch disc, to configure the floppy, to configure the memory on my PC properly to play Wing Commander back in the day. Yeah, I'm sorry. That just means you're dumb, apparently. It's great.
Dude,
I love it.
Garibay will outlive us all.
He's like a cockroach.
I fucking hope so.
More amazing content.
Pursue a market that really doesn't want your product, and that's exactly what happened with 4th edition. It alienated the smart, literate people that play tabletop role-playing games.
Oh God.
Shut up.
Okay.
Oh my
Okay.
God, I just needed a second. Oh my God.
It alienated. All right, you know what? Now we reached the point where, like, clowning aside, like up to this point has been clowning, like, and just kidding around and good fun. Now we actually reached the point where, like, this is from my heart, like a full-hearted fuck you.
Yes. Oh, dude.
Oh,
we
it's
should
alright. Yeah.
rewatch the fucking "you're racist if you do" accents.
Yeah. Oh, it's a big. It's just an implied at this point. Fuck you. Now I'm just laughing at how ridiculous this fucking guy
Yeah,
is.
exactly.
You do not get to say that an entire like group of people left, and what linked them all together was that they were smart.
Right.
They didn't like the edition because they were smart. Yes, surely the one problem with the edition was that the players were smart. Not that the edition may be bad, but that the players were actually all just smart.
Yes.
And now I do IT. I really think I got on that path by spending so much time trying to make my PC run games better. Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
This guy should have a personal permanent entry in the I Am Very Smart subreddit. Oh, dude, he's a moderator.
Hell yeah.
You know it.
Dude, he's like the opposite of the last video we just watched.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, one video spent a half an hour and made like one claim that was like actually noticeable.
Right.
This
He
video
goes right off the
has
bat.
just been shotgunning, like full choke with claims, and none of them have been right.
Oh, absolutely. I love it.
And it found really no purchase with the mass market that video games have. So they absolutely need to avoid doing anything to make Pathfinder 2e look like a video game.
Hey, you know what? Any video game probably outsold 4e.
That's true.
And Paizo needs to be very,
you know,
very
if we want to use that as
goodwill toward.
If we want to use that as a measure like of success, how many people bought it? I'm sure, trust me, I'm sure that would be up to your standards of metrics.
By the way, you know what's hilarious about this? One of the things that people who played 4th edition can easily point to about Pathfinder 2e is that it has the same kind of superpowered characters. So they did make it at least somewhat video gamey, at least in that aspect.
The big numbers. Big numbers.
Exactly.
Yep.
And so, like, oh, don't make it like a video game. We're gonna do it. So
Like
anyway, then I started blasting.
It's just to show you that they didn't consult Garibay.
Yeah, man.
They didn't consult him for some reason. I don't know.
Why not? It's crazy.
He's this big brain. He's 500 IQ, dude.
I'm honestly unsure which I dislike more.
Between
Yeah.
It's really a toss up.
Oh man.
Then we need to, like, after the stream, we need to watch the racist for accents.
No,
video.
I'm good. No, I don't want to do that. He can watch that on his own time if he wants to.
Like it's almost as bad of a claim as there's only like there's only like 1 or 2 stories per every
100 years.
Yeah, 100 years or whatever. Like, honestly, that's a stupid claim. So is claiming that only the intelligent people left.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Well,
Okay, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. So here's the thing: if all the intelligent people left 4e, that wouldn't make any difference because intelligent people. I think we can all admit that intelligent people are the fucking minority.
Yeah. Steely says, imagine being a game store employee being given the same speech while you're trying to dock the magic cards. Stock the magic cards. I would actually like to present to you an alternative. Imagine being a games shop worker, like you sell TTRPGs, and someone comes in and they want to sell their copy of 4th edition because they didn't like it. And you said, oh, well, you were just too stupid.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Like that. There's no. It's ridiculous. He doesn't hear the words that are coming out of his mouth. I can't believe that he.
Well, can you really blame him? He's got to drive. He can't pay attention to what he's saying.
I was actually just thinking that too.
Exactly.
Video games. They tried to make a Pathfinder MMO, which for all, from what I've seen, looks to be a commercial failure. I've never met anyone in my life who plays
Neverwinter Nights happened.
And I'm within the tabletop role-playing game community.
A lot of D&D games.
I love the equivalence of, hey, the Pathfinder MMO failed, so that means that anything that is based off a video game is going to fail. That's great. That's great logic.
Pathfinder as a video game is bad because the Pathfinder video game is bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Surely the one factor for whether a game is good or bad is what it's about.
Exactly.
And not, I don't know, development hell. Or any other of a myriad of possible issues. Not like advertising, not like consumer like feedback.
Yep.
No. Who cares about that? Like, Pathfinder was bad. So
it was bad, dude.
Pathfinder video game is bad.
Also, I love the whole I'm in the Pathfinder community and nobody I know has played.
Right,
So
yeah. Even like I'm in the TTRPG community. Why? Right.
You know, the Venn diagram
I'm in the video
fairly
gaming
large,
community,
and it was not.
And I'm literate.
So they need to be very, very careful of that. Okay. So what should the Pathfinder 2e game do? Well, one, it should not be a new iteration. It needs to swing for the fences, and it needs to iterate the form of the tabletop role-playing game itself.
What does that even mean?
Now, the obvious things are make the tabletop role-playing game run in the time of a movie. This should be absolutely be one of the goals of Pathfinder 2e.
What?
That's another thing. I think the Pathfinder Paizo should be ready to lose its core fans. Absolutely lose its core fans. And why is their game is not relevant anymore, in my opinion. Dungeons and Dragons is
Yeah, that's a good business plan.
Coming back, kick them out of the lawn.
And he's like, hey, they should expect to just not have people that like their game, like that used to like their Pathfinder 1e. They should just expect that those people, they're not gonna be there anymore. Like, sure, okay, you might lose a few people if you change some things, and I'm sure that with 2e, some people went, it's not for me, and they didn't get it, right? That's to be expected. But you don't just go, yeah, my entire core audience, just gonna lose them. Just gonna lose them on an iteration of what they liked. Just gonna lose them. Fucking, shut up.
And so the people who are playing Pathfinder 1e were people who were happy with Pathfinder 3.5, right? Well, that market is well over 10 years old. Those people, there's not much of them left, right?
Hey,
sorry,
guys!
Did everybody die?
Hey guys.
Yeah.
Now, question: when do the new Star Wars movies come out?
Oh, not too long ago, my man.
Man, you remember how fucking nobody gave a shit and nobody talked about Star Wars and there was nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
Mahler did.
Right? Yeah. No. Exactly. Well, that's the thing.
Nobody
right?
gave a shit about Star Wars or Star Trek because the fan base is old.
Yeah. Exactly. Back when it was like what 30? Not 30 years, but a long time since the prequels came out. And guess what? Everybody who was a Star Wars fan at that point,
they were gone.
Hated, they didn't want it. They in fact thought that The Force Awakens was it was just like boring, right? Like,
yeah, this is just Star Wars again. Boring. Not that it was terrible.
What are you? Not that it was bad. Yeah, exactly.
Not like people were freaking out over it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Who's really that into Pathfinder 3.5?
So
you don't want to.
There's actually a tweet I saw. It was made like a couple days ago by the Sony PlayStation head of marketing, I believe.
Okay.
Or business advancement or something like that. But it was someone in charge, someone who got roughly pretty high up. And he said that he was at an event recently, and they had PlayStation 2 games and PlayStation 3 games
yeah.
and
Nice.
PS Vita games,
Huh.
and he was like, "Wow, why would anyone play any of these games?
That's right.
They
That
look
fucking idiot. I forgot.
God.
They look like shit."
Yeah, he's a
Because
fucking idiot.
because all that video games are to him is the graphics and
Yep.
how like it's like important in the moment.
Yep.
Once a video game is more than like 3 years old,
Yeah.
it's no longer relevant.
Yeah, it's not even
He's
worth
a-
playing anymore. What
He's
the
a
fuck?
fucking idiot. I remember seeing that, and I was like, why the fuck would you ever, as the head of what? Huh?
And how? Why do you
Hey
fucking?
guys,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to head out because I am fading.
That's fair.
Oh
Absolutely.
man, you don't sound like you're fading. Damn, firing out. You're fucking firing. You're rapid firing. But okay,
Yeah,
that's sad.
I'll see you soon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see ya.
Bye.
Yep,
Bye,
take it easy.
All right, let's finish
Yeah,
this
like what
up.
the fuck?
I don't know. This guy's a.
I love this guy.
He's it's so funny. I love it.
I know.
I'm glad. Oh, jeez.
I'm glad he exists.
I'm glad
but-
that 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 we were shown him. That we were told.
Yes.
of him, you know.
I'm gonna sound like an asshole, but who was the one that showed it to us again?
It was Oh fuck me.
Yeah, right.
Oh fuck me. Why can't I remember his fucking name? Wow.
Oh, fuck. I
Juice.
know.
It was Juice. It was Juice.
Juice. That's it. Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Juice.
Yes, thank you, Juice. Fucking stellar.
Sorry, I forgot your name.
Stellar content for you to gift to us. Oh, it's
Yeah,
so
right.
good.
This gold mine.
Pursue that market, right? So in my opinion, what you want to do is you want to get smart, savvy people who are not playing tabletop role-playing games. And
The
way you
stupid
can do that
people,
is you can deliver a tabletop role-playing game that has absolutely no ability to be played for a 4-hour game block that was invented in the 1980s, and has
Oh my God.
the ability to be played an entire adventure that plays within 90 minutes, the standard length of an American movie.
Why?
So instead of having sessions that last 4 hours, what we
Yeah.
need for Paizo to do for 2e is to make it so that it only lasts 90 minutes. More than
Hey,
that, less than that, bad.
Hey, Alejo.
Mm,
When you guys are playing Devils and Dice,
yeah.
I'm sorry that I literally chain you to the table because I
Dude.
know that you only want to be there for an hour and a half.
I know. Literally, I
sorry.
can't take it when we go for more than an hour and a half. It's just...
It's not because you're having fun.
No, I'm never
It's
having
not be-
fun. God.
Yeah, no, fuck that. Why would I run a campaign for you guys to have fun? What the fuck?
Oh.
Guys, you know what? You know what? I've just had an epiphany. I could really, really like speed up the writing of my Cthulhu campaign
Mm.
if I write it to only take an hour.
Yeah,
I could
exactly.
write a lot of campaigns
Oh my
then.
god, it's almost like it's like short. Wow.
Oh my god.
You don't want
like, oh.
any more content within a specific time period than we want for ourselves.
Yeah.
It's the meme we
oh my
need
God.
but not deserve.
Oh my god, yeah,
It's
no.
like when you're at an office meeting and they talk about synergizing core competencies.
Yeah.
It just, oh my god.
What the fuck?
What is there to say other than no, they didn't need, they haven't done that. So this
Yeah.
is the thing. Every module that I've played in or I've read or anything like that, you can make it so that it's a one shot. That is totally possible. But the other thing is they have it fleshed out so much that it can last a year. They can
Yeah.
last 2 it can last however long it takes. Because
anything can become anything.
because
like when
it's
we fucking
fun.
did the Tabaxi campaign, that was
Yeah.
supposed to be a one shot, but we enjoyed it
Exactly.
so much that we wanted it to be more.
Exactly. What happens if someone like wants to socialize or get a drink or something? No, stay on schedule. Exactly.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know what happens? Fuck you.
this is the thing. It's not in that case. It's gotta be a railroad experience, doesn't it?
Mhm.
It can't be anything else. It's literally
Yeah.
just, hey, you're doing this. No role play, by the way, because that'll take time. Because you'll talk too much. Like we gotta go 90 minutes. Let's go.
Yeah, chop chop.
Fucking hell.
That's why I always, whenever we fucking do these podcasts, I'm always like, oh man, we got a time limit. It's like a strict 4-hour time limit.
Exactly.
That's a joke.
It's a joke. Oh God.
That means you have to change everything. You have to change the combat. You have to change how the player characters are structured. All of that. And so what I would do is I would make it so that all the rules of the entire game can fit into 15 pages, right? And then what I would do is I would steal a brilliant idea from Tiny Dungeon 2E, and use micro settings, right? And so allow there to be multiple settings that are available, ready to be played right within the core rulebook. That's another thing. I would make the core rulebook of Pathfinder 2E.
He just keeps going. He just keeps fucking going. Okay, so first off, okay, sure, we could do that with the micro setting thing. Sure, that's fine. The thing is, what if they give you the entire world so that you can just be in it? How about that?
Yeah.
Like what they did. I know this is like we're in the future talking to a pastman. But at the same time, he played the playtest material or something, and I assume that in that they detailed a little bit about the world. I don't know. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but at the same time, what is this, right? Like, what are we doing here? I understand he wants it to be short, and so he's trying to make... He's not even making arguments. He's just saying you should do this. He hasn't given me reasons. He's just said, people are stupid, and so we should make things shorter for people who are stupid. That's what he's telling me. And I'm like, wow, you just don't respect anyone's intelligence at all, I guess. Cool.
What? Oh, sorry.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb.
Yeah, I know. Man.
Or if the players can't solve a puzzle as quickly as expected, what's wrong with you? We don't have time for you to screw around like a bunch of video gamers.
You know what? God damn it, I lost the train of thought. Fuck.
It's just... this guy is on a fucking runaway train of his thoughts, dude. He's just kind of spouting them out like...
Oh my god.
It's a fucking... Like, just... a sludge, like a fucking sewer pipe is just burst. And it's just... It's spraying all over the road. My god.
Yes.
Do you think he has sexual intercourse with his possibly non-existent wife? He critiques her on how her mom could do better for his satisfaction.
Oh my god. I sure fucking hope, or is like,
that's
man,
funny.
Babe, this is taking way too long.
Sorry, I'm really smart. We can't take this long.
Yeah.
You realize I need to go at least twice in and out, and then we gotta go. Like, this is...
like that's all I got time for. I got smart people things to do.
I gotta go read from my library. I'm gonna go climb up the ladder to my 5th story library and get a book from there, and slide down and sit in my favorite armchair next to the fire with my pipe. It's like, fuck off.
Oh my god.
So dumb.
100 pages long, okay? Rules in 15 pages, probably 20 pages of player character options, and I would do, ancestries, which is the new term for race, and I would do classes. I would, maybe 15 pages for each of those, 15 pages for ancestry, maybe 30
So these are separate from the rules of the game. Even though they're
I guess
kind
so.
of the rules of the game.
Yeah,
okay.
they are the rules. Okay.
Yeah, sure, whatever. You want multiple... Yeah. So this is going to be like I assume, like maybe 150-page book. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible, sure, but...
Here's the thing, though.
Eh.
If you only have smart people playing RPGs, they're not going to mind being able to read a longer book. It makes them smarter. Hello? And if they're smart, they can figure the fucking rules out.
I know. I have kings waiting for me online.
And you're telling... And so, okay, wait a minute. Hang on. Okay. So, the crux of this video is to not make Pathfinder like a video game.
Right.
Because people who play video games are stupid.
Right.
And then you are trying to get the book to shrink and become simpler so that more stupid people can play it?
Yeah, that's the impression that
Even though you told us that you don't want stupid people... What are you on about?
What is
my royal confidants are awaiting my presence on Reddit. Fuck yeah!
So when is his RPG coming out? Oh, I hope fucking never. Oh my god.
I mean, hey, at least it'd be simple to read.
That's true. It might be it might be something like Fate.
Yeah, it'd probably be like Fate. Where it's like, hey, just
And,
do whatever you want.
again-
You want to roll dice?
Yeah, again, nothing against it. It's just not something that I like. I mean,
Yeah,
it's just
it's not my system. Not at all.
anyway.
Pages for class options, and then I would do a very maybe 10 pages for a bestiary, and I would
10?
Use the rest of those pages for these micro settings, right?
For wait, classes?
No, for a bestiary.
What the fuck?
He wants 10 pages for monsters. So is he accounting for art, or is he just saying there should just be a list of monsters there with their stats?
So okay, is it just the name and no
Right.
stats at all?
That's
because
what I'm
you
wondering.
could do that
You
if
could.
it was just the name.
If it's just that, but are you accounting for the fact that they have artists that they want to like make the book look appealing to people?
Yeah, because he did say hire some good artists.
Yeah,
from video game
that's
players.
true. Yeah,
So hire the stupid artists.
Right.
Yeah,
If
what the?
If
Okay,
this
so
RPG
guys-
does come out, I dare you to play it. Oh shit.
No.
He's daring me, dude. What am I supposed to do?
So here's the thing.
No, it's just one of those things.
In Pathfinder 2e, I have
Yeah.
a vision, okay?
Okay, a vision.
We'll
I'm
be
ready
able to
for it.
fight. We'll have a bunch of enemies.
Okay.
We'll be able to fight orcs,
Okay.
goblins,
Yep.
bears,
Okay.
boars,
Okay.
dragons,
Right.
ghosts,
Yep.
bullets,
Okay.
carrion crawlers.
Okay. Yep.
Oh, I got 2 left. Shit.
Yeah. Choose wisely.
Yeah, choose. Fuck. I already got ghosts. Oh, necromancers.
Okay.
And fuck, what else is like?
Wait,
really
no.
fucking...
So the necromancers, if you do that, they don't have anything they can summon. You didn't put zombies in there.
I put. Fuck. I thought I put.
You
Okay,
put
skeletons.
ghosts.
There.
Oh, okay, there you go. There you go. Skeletons.
Yeah. Okay. There.
All right,
That's
yeah.
all. That's 10 enemies. That's all you need. For this entire RPG. Well, here's the thing. If it's only gonna take an hour,
yeah,
you only need this many.
That's true, right? Like,
usually I'm really good at playing Satan's hype man with a straight face, but fuck, I can't even do it this time.
I know, right? Hold this sweet, short, and bitter.
Oh man!
Oh my god.
That runs in 90 minutes. You can do an entire adventure within 90 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you have a game that's less than 99 pages long, right?
Less than 99
and this
pages.
is a massive break from everything they're currently doing. But another reason why I would go down this road is from my vantage, from what I see, I do not believe Starfinder was successful. The one thing it was successful in doing is it is being sold in Barnes and Nobles, which that's impressive, right? You got a 500-page rule book. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's really cool. But it gets the same market that Pathfinder gets. And it really, I don't think it really brings anybody new to the hobby. It doesn't innovate the form in any single way.
Oh my god.
You can't just make these claims, man.
But from his vantage, he clearly has a view of some other alien fucking horror that, like, we probably shouldn't be able to see.
You're right. He's driving right to the mall.
Well, congratulations, you need your eyes checked. Is that why he's wearing glasses?
Jeez. It's like the Russian nesting doll. It is. It's just like, okay. So
no. He's talking about necromancers summon other necromancers, so we wouldn't. Need the skeleton.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So,
anyway.
Okay. So here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Fucking, he makes this claim that Starfinder didn't bring a lot of people to the hobby, and I need to see your data, dude. Like, there is no way you can just make that claim. Sure, it might not be as popular as D&D was. That I can 100% go, that's fair. We can work off that assumption. That is fine. But you didn't say that.
Yeah, well, here's the thing.
He's implied it, but that's not what he said.
He can't hold up his spreadsheet of data. He's in the car.
He's in the car.
It'd
You're
be
right.
Dangerous.
You're right. Other people would look at it and go, "Oh," and then drive off the road. It would be bad.
Yeah. They'd be so interested in his incredibly impeccable data.
It's just like, okay, man. Like, just because something also goes into a Barnes and Noble.
Yeah, what is that even about?
I think it's because he's he's saying that because it made it to a quote unquote
bookstore.
Yeah, a bookstore, a quote unquote normie place, a quote unquote idiot's farm. I don't know what he's implying with it is exactly, but he's definitely trying to make it sound like it's important that it's in a Barnes and Noble. Where I would go, it's on Amazon, my dude.
Yeah, it's nobody, like, I'm sorry, unless you go to, like, unless you're the kind of person that, like, goes out and goes shopping for physical books, like, in an actual bookstore, which if you are, fucking cool. I wish I had a bookstore near me.
Right.
But if I can buy it on Amazon with just a few clicks and just a little bit of clickety clackety, I'm just gonna buy it on Amazon. Hell, I just got a new fucking monster book today from Amazon. It got here in 3 fucking days.
I bought the Vampire Core rulebook on Amazon, and it was it came in earlier than it told me, and I was like, sick.
Yeah.
So
and
I don't know, man. He places books way too high on a pedestal. I don't understand.
It's like, because here's the thing. I can admit this because it is a tiny bit of cringe on my part. I used to be the guy who was like, no, man, I prefer a physical copy. I used to be that guy.
That's fine.
Huh? Oh, no. I mean, for like video games. I was like, I don't have many games on Steam. I prefer physical copies. But I mean, like, obviously that's fine.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
it's kind of like the part of the
you were doing it from the it's better as a physical copy.
Not really, actually. I felt like I was dumb, and I was like, man, if I buy it digitally, and then my computer has a virus, and like, what happens? Do I lose it? You know, I wasn't familiar enough with like a Steam account. Anyway. The reason why I say that is because people who are like, oh, I only like the physical copy, are seen more as like the artiste. You know, I'm better than you because I have the physical copy. I have the physical disc.
The only thing for that I would be like is, you have a physical copy, that's good because that means that you won't ever lose it, sure, unless you lose the actual physical copy.
You lose it.
Right? Like, that's the thing. That's the only thing where I would go, physical copies, I understand why a lot of people really want them instead, because they own that is theirs, whereas with something that's on Steam, sure, there can be an argument of like, you don't have it, you just have access to it, right? And if Steam goes down, how the fuck do you get your games, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I understand that anyway.
Yeah. And so, like, I understand the appeal of going into a bookstore. Hell, I love going into bookstores. We have one in our mall, and, like, we never go to the mall, but every time we go there, I'm like, man, can we visit, like, the fucking Barnes & Noble and just, like, chill there?
There you go, yeah.
Hell, that's where I bought my fucking book for Journey to the West.
Oh!
That's why I got a physical copy of Journey to the West.
Nice.
And it's a good book, anyway. Yeah. But, yeah, like, I understand the appeal of going to a bookstore. It's really nice and chill. It's cool because I have like a little cafe in there too. But just because it's available in a bookstore doesn't mean a fucking thing.
It doesn't.
Like, I could go to any bookstore, anywhere, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, used bookstores, and be like, hey, do you have any like gaming books, like RPG books? And they're like, yeah, sure, they're right back down that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah, it's not hard.
Yeah, you don't have to go to a game shop to get an RPG book.
It's like he hasn't ever seen any other bookstores have it. He's just seen game shops. It's like, what year do you live in, dude?
I don't know,
man. It's not the 80s, right? Where this was kind of new still and people weren't putting it in regular bookstores. We're kind of, in the 21st century, my man. Like,
it's popular now.
Yeah.
Like, legit. I mean, hell, where I work. Hell, I actually just gave one of my friends at work my physical 5th edition DMG because he is really interested in getting into Dungeons and Dragons and DMing and writing his own shit. And he was like, man, I really want to get a DMG. I just need to buy it. And I'm like, man, I'm not using it. You want mine?
Yeah, absolutely. There you go.
And I told him that he probably doesn't really need it, but I don't mind giving it to him.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, because, he's brand new, never done it before.
Yeah.
And there are lots of people that I talk to there that are like, oh, man, I've heard about D&D. It seems like so much fun, but, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
Lots of people know what D&D is. Lots of people know.
And, and like, we talked about it before of, like, Pathfinder isn't the universal term, but at the same time, I also think, like, you can still tell somebody about that and then figure out a way for them to actually, like, understand. And then they go to the bookstore and they're like, oh, I know what that is.
Yeah, it's like, hey, what's Pathfinder? Oh, it's like Dungeons and Dragons.
Right.
Oh, okay. Boom, done.
Right. So anyway,
Fuck, I hate
it
this.
seems like sci-fi RPGs are not as popular as fantasy, so I don't know that you can find Starfinder that you can say Starfinder has necessarily done poorly.
Yeah,
That's my whole point. It's like he says that it didn't bring anybody into the hobby, in which case I would go, you can't make that claim.
you can't make that claim.
I can't believe that.
Yeah.
Information is information, and if it can get me to have fun with my friends, then either is fine. Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Another thing I would do is make a way for people to participate in a tabletop role-playing game without being a player and without being a game master. Okay?
Why?
Now,
How?
I'm actually currently, of course, I'm working on my own tabletop role-playing game, and this
Oh,
is something
no.
I have within my.
He is.
Oh no!
Oh my god!
That was 2 years ago. Oh no!
Pizza Funk. You dared him. Oh, I hope.
No, no!
Yeah, Funky Fresh, exact same thing. Oh boy.
Anyway, okay, all right. Sorry. Just
Oh,
caught
Jesus
me off
Christ.
guard. All right, tell me
Yeah.
how to do that, because they did introduce I did dare you.
You did.
Because they introduced in 5th edition, they introduced that whole sidekick thing or whatever, right? Where you could be that instead of being a full player, which I also
Fuck is I've never even heard of that.
yeah,
what is
that was a whole. It was, I think it was in Tasha's that they were like, I was just joking, take it back. It was in Tasha's. It was like you can be a sidekick, or it's basically just a very powered down hero character.
Interesting.
And so you just tag along as that.
That sounds super boring and really lame.
Yeah, I don't
actually.
know. It's one of those things for people that seem to need to not have as much interaction or something. I don't know what it's for. It's for new people. That's all I know. And at the same time, I'm like, why don't you just get them to make a character?
Just have them play the fucking game.
Or just have them sit in on a session and just
Yeah.
listen, and so they can kind of absorb some of it, and then you can explain things to them, or just fucking
Yeah.
explain things to them, or just give them the book to read. I don't know, man. Anyway, that's my gripes on that, but it's a whole
Hey.
different thing.
Hey guys. Hey guys.
Eh,
I want to play an RPG.
okay.
Okay, cool. But I don't want to actually really do anything.
I don't wanna
just
play.
kind of want to be.
I just want to
like-
be in it. I just don't want to play.
Well, here's the thing.
Eh.
You know how sometimes people run games where they like run an inn and stuff?
Yeah.
And that's like super cool and fun
Sure.
because you get into like all that shit.
Yeah.
Can I play the guy who drives the cart that brings the ale to the tavern and then just immediately leaves to go back and get more ale?
Yes.
Can I play like the delivery man who you never even named?
Yes.
Can I be
Now you can.
the person who is in the castle? Oh, the king. No. I want to be the guy who, like, every night after like the king has had his audience, I want to be the guy
Uh-huh.
who, you know, in like the audience chamber, they have like those really nice rugs and tapestries
Yeah.
and shit.
They're nice.
I want to be the guy who goes down and like picks out the little pieces of dirt and like dead grass.
I want to go
out
beat
of
the
the-
rugs outside.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's
No,
write a story about this person.
no. I don't want a story about me. I just want to do that.
Pizza Funk.
So to summarize, video gamers are dumb. Litterists play TTRPGs. Pathfinder shouldn't be like a video game. TTRPG books should be short. Starfinder failed. Have people play without playing. Gerbe RPG. Yeah, basically so far. We still have another minute. He could fucking give us 3 more things. You don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, the other thing about those sidekick things is like they do have some abilities and stuff, so they can interact. but
I'm sure
it's one of those things where it's like
so lame.
I know. It's one of those things where I don't understand it. But again, if you're out there and you do that and it works for you, fucking more power to you.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. It just sounds really stupid to
it's
me.
just one of the, it's just one of those things that we can't understand it at this point.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Role-playing game. I'm not going to say how I do it until I do my release, but I do think that Paizo should be doing this. So right now, every tabletop game in the world has a game master and it has players, and it has nothing else for the glommer. Okay, so let's say there's a girl she's really excited about
the glommer.
What the
is that a word? Glommer.
Please tell me he means
glommer. A glommer. A glamour? No, that's not what he said.
Yeah, no, right? Like, please tell me he doesn't pronounce glamour as glommer.
Because glamour doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, no,
like, the definition of glamour is about magic. And an attractive or exciting quality that makes certain people or things seem appealing. Maybe that he wants there to be a glommer to... I know, that doesn't... I don't know.
And what? Yeah, no, that doesn't make any sense. Please tell me that's not what he means. Please tell me glommer is a word that I don't know. He's smart. He plays RPGs.
Right, he reads.
I'm sure that must just be a word that my stupid self hasn't fucking...
Right, exactly. I trust Garibay with my life. Someone who gloms on.
Yeah, like...
No, I don't know. And I hope he says more that actually, like, gives us that. I want to hear it again.
Yeah. For the glommer, okay? So let's say there's a girl, she's really excited about Pathfinder, or Pathfinder 1E, and her
the conglomerate? Is that a short for conglomerate?
No!
Really?
Pizza Funk. I swear to God.
He's the real fucking 500 IQ person.
I know, Pizza Funk, you must not play any video games.
Okay, so he's talking about the masses, but he used a fucking thing that I have never heard. Conglomerate, glommer, slang. Let's try that.
Yeah, see even like Urban Dictionary, glommer.
Yeah,
because that might have it. Who knows?
This matters more to me than anything that he has said.
Oh, absolutely. We're learning a new word here, gentlemen.
I don't even think it's a word. Wait, no, that's about COVID. That's not right.
Okay. He was prophetic.
No,
right?
I don't want to give him that. Oh wait, someone who steals or is quick to act greedy? No, that's not right. No, that's not it. No. Wait, is it 2 M's? Hold up.
Yeah, is it 2 M?
Glommer. Hold up. Don't starve, Wiki. Wait a minute.
Okay.
Memory Alpha fandom. No, I don't think this is a real thing. I think he just made something up. If it's as a Florida man, I have a tendency to translate stupid. Oh. Thank you for being here, sir. But I don't think that's a real word ever. Okay.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, so I take it you went to Urban Dictionary?
Oh, I did for a sec. I didn't go in there, but I'm not...
Did you see the word of the day, apparently?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't actually click on the site, and I don't want to know. I'm good.
No, this is gold. Because this is like front... I didn't look at it. It was fucking, like, right there on the front page.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Would you guys like to... I'll put it in the actual chat. Hang on.
Oh, no. What have you done?
Here we go. Okay, so, Alejo, are you looking at the chat?
I'm looking at it, yes. I'm scared.
What does that word mean?
I'm very scared.
Is it in the chat yet?
It's gonna take a second to show up, I guess.
Okay, then I'll give it to you in here.
Okay.
What does that word mean?
I don't know. I'm not sure I want to know.
A vaxhole.
Oh, no.
One who has been fully vaccinated for the COVID-19 virus and brags about it.
Oh, okay.
What the fuck?
That's not that bad. That's not that bad.
But, like, fucking...
I don't know. Somebody brags about it. I guess they're just being annoying.
I don't
so.
know. It just seems so fucking stupid.
Yeah. Have you not been on Urban Dictionary before?
No, I have.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you did. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Fucking.
I don't know. Anyway, so shows off about being brags. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so okay, so Glommers, right?
From her, but he's actually interested in the game, and then he gets attached to her as a player, and he comes in as a player, right? This happens constantly. It is very, very common in tabletop role-playing games. I call them the glommer, the person who is there for another person and not for the game. And I think that we need a space for them to be logically at the table, to have them do something, but not actually take a player seat. And there's a whole lot of reasons for this. It's one of the biggest problems in the game, and I think they have the opportunity to solve it, right? Which I think
that's
really,
one of the
really,
biggest problems with the game. People who
I think he means in general with TTRPGs, and I go, no.
You've never played a TTRPG before in your life. Then.
Like, it's so, like, just because somebody is there and isn't doing anything and is there for somebody else because they are playing the game, the problem isn't there unless somebody has made it a problem.
Right? Oh my god, dude, the fucking memes, Pizza Funk, what are you doing?
Oh no, are they good memes? Hold up.
They're fucking good.
Okay.
Oh no, it's actually it's Funky Fresh first.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Hang on. Let me pull them up.
Dude, that's the best big brain meme version I've seen in a long time. Holy shit, really I like that.
That's super good. Okay, yeah, both of these.
Yeah,
both of these are great. I love them.
That's fucking fantastic. I don't actually the third one. Random bullshit. Yeah, no, that works. That's really good.
So let's look at this fucking chess.
That's so good.
According to Garibay. According to this video. I love that. That's great. That is so good. And then we have no one. Garibay. Random bullshit. Go!
Yeah, and then I love the fucking non-TTRPG players exist. Garibay. Dumb bitch.
Oh, I didn't see that one. Hold on.
Oh, yeah, go right up. It's right above the
chest. That one. Yeah. I didn't even see this.
God. Fucking hell, dude. The chess one that gets me so good. That's the best one I've ever seen. Because, like, the one that I'm most familiar with is, one, the brain chair, and the brain Silver Surfer surfing on his brain.
Yeah. I have seen brain chess before, but that is a very good use of it. I'm very happy about it.
Holy shit. That's the first I've seen of it. Anyway, let's
yeah, let's finish this fucking out. It's almost done.
Yeah.
And I think they could do it. That's the other thing is what problems of tabletop role-playing games can Pathfinder 2e solve?
What are the problems, sir? Tell me.
And in a unique and special way. And I think that's one of the things is that we really want to do is we want to figure this out, right? And so that's what I would do with Pathfinder.
He doesn't tell me any of the problems.
That's what I think Paizo should do with Pathfinder 2e. I will tell you right now, I'm not sure they're going to do any of those things. And I hope they don't do with Starfinder, which is more the same. That's to me is one other thing they absolutely cannot do. They cannot do more of the same. It's my take. Take care.
They can't do more of the same. Paizo proceeds to make Pathfinder 2e. It's a little bit like the same stuff that's out there. It's really popular and it popping off.
No, you can't just do the same thing that you did before. Pathfinder money printer go burp. Fucking hell, dude.
That's Garibay. Oh, he's a great man. Oh,
Alejo.
He's so good. Yeah.
Alejo.
Yeah.
I think to end off the podcast,
okay,
you need to go to his YouTube channel and see if he has any links to his RPG.
You're right. Okay. Let's go on an adventure, everyone.
Yeah, because I can't do it because they won't be able to. The people.
I know.
Won't be able to.
Let's go on an adventure. You guys can see. Here we go. J. Scott Garibay. His channel is a good one.
Okay, so you're
I'm still looking. Hold up. All right, let's see. do it right here. RPG. Just do that. Oh, that's not gonna help me. Yeah.
Oh, I just brought up all his videos, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Finished, maybe. No.
Are you on like his YouTube channel?
Yeah, I'm searching his videos.
Oh no, don't do his videos. Like,
Oh, I was
look
looking at his
like,
about, maybe?
Yeah, let's try that.
He has nothing.
Okay.
Literally nothing. Okay. Okay. Well, then let's try Google J. Scott Garibay RPG. I know I'm not showing that right now, but I don't want you to see my search history. Okay. Oh, wait.
Oh god.
He's got a Pinterest.
Okay.
That's all I know.
Does he have a Facebook?
I don't know. Probably.
Okay.
It's his YouTube video. He has a Twitter? I forgot.
That might be another place you could check.
Hold up. God, he had a Twitter. Oh, he has a Facebook through that. All right, let me. I'm just
You
gonna.
gotta go down this rabbit hole,
Yeah,
my
I'm
dude.
going
You
down
said
a
it.
rabbit hole a little bit. And this seems like a personal Facebook. It is. Yeah, it's a personal one. Okay, I'm not doing that.
Okay.
I didn't show it because I don't want to show family photos and shit.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay, yeah, I can't find it. If you guys find it, let me know.
Please don't tell us about it.
Let me know.
That way we have plausible deniability.
That's true. That's true. You're right. I forgot.
Yeah. No funky fresh. Don't. Okay, he's still looking. Okay.
Wait, is there? Oh, okay, that's that. So that'll be it for tonight, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us on this journey through non-committal and then super committal.
Someone who doesn't commit to an okay idea, and someone who fully commits to a bunch of shitty ideas.
A bunch of bullshit. Yeah, it's great. So thank you again to our patrons. You make this all possible.
Yes.
That is Draco Kusaji, Slazer, Steely, Drake, Cross, Mog Zero, Chris, Frozen Spaghetti, and Kill Chrono. You, crazy. You're insane. Thank you so much. But yeah, remember out there that the podcast you can find on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the live thing. Then you can find it again on Fridays at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the VOD, and then again as a audio-only version on your podcasting service of choice at 12 p.m. Or around there on Mondays. And don't forget Devils and Dice. It'll be up tomorrow. I've got to re-render it because fucking I had to cancel out of it so that I could actually start the stream. It was really annoying. It was on 100% and it just wouldn't stop.
Really I hate that bullshit.
Yeah, it sucked. So, so that'll be up on the Patreon tonight, like at some point in the morning here before it goes up live tomorrow. Sorry about that, patrons, but it's okay. I'm sorry. Anyway, so that, and I think you've got all the rest of the links in the description. Go check those out. Follow us on the Discord and all that, and Twitter and all that. So
I don't mean to interrupt the outro, but I just had a fucking great idea.
Okay.
You know how we always talk about the people who donate and like, man, that you're crazy.
You are
like,
insane. Yes.
Yeah, you are insane.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should make a couple more tiers where you're like a bronze, silver, and gold table flipper at the first 3. And then once you get above that, you're Garibay crazy and RPG pundit crazy.
Oh no. I'm not adding higher tiers. No.
Okay.
We're not gonna ask for no, that would be more money, and that's I think 15 is where I'm like.
Oh no, I'm just saying that's what you named the tier.
Oh
that's
yeah,
all.
no. Yeah.
No. Okay.
Anyway, thanks so much again for hanging out, watching, and future people watching and commenting and all that. Very much appreciate it, and we'll see you next week. Or whatever we're doing then.
I hope it's more Garibay, because honestly, he's an endless source of entertainment.
It's not going to be more Garibay. That's got to be in installments.
Yeah, he's like little sweet treats.
Exactly. Anyway, goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.